Everyone throw those peace signs down in the comments section because it looks like it's not a matter of if, but when Tyreek Hill more than likely is going to be traded away from the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitchell Renz, the entire Chat Sports crew here, ready to break down a hell of an offseason, breaking down a hell of a day here, but we wouldn't be able to do today's show, and you probably wouldn't be able to get your girl going if it wasn't for our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. Head on over to manscaped.com/chat, where you guys can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So we usually go live on Wednesdays, and we usually go live a little bit later, but when there's breaking news, we promise you all the time, we're going to go ahead and give you that content. So let me know down in the comments section, will Tyreek Hill get traded? Type that Y for yes, or I want you to go ahead and type N for no. What we're going to be doing here on today's show is breaking down the latest news and rumors around the Kansas City Chiefs, or soon to be Kansas City Chiefs, former Kansas City Chiefs star wide receiver Tyreek Hill. We're going to get into the top 5 destinations. We're going to talk about what a potential trade could end up looking like for that team. It looks like that there are some favorites, so we'll potentially look at those favorites and how Tyreek could end up fitting there. But let me know down in the comments Y for yes, N for no. Shout out to Jacob, Michael, Untouchable Raider, Enrico, Raider Rob, Todd Rob, Brandon Harvey, Texas Savage, Mario, Bronco, Braden, Mike. I appreciate every single one of y'all watching down in the comments. So after this weigh-in here, we're going to get into the top Tyreek Hill destinations, where we're going to go ahead, rank them all the way from 5 down to 1. We still have 2 mailbags. We're going to be breaking down the top free agents remaining as well. You're going to see me. You're going to see Tom. You might see a few different people here on today's live show because of all the different moving parts that could potentially happen around a Tyreek Hill trade. It sounds like Hill is debating between a few teams here. It sounds like he's got multiple deals on the table. So I'm going to go ahead, get into the latest news and rumors around Tyreek Hill, and break down the top 5 teams most likely to go out and trade for Tyreek Hill. You're watching NFL Daily, and today's show is presented by Manscaped. What we're breaking down here on today's show are the top 5 trade destinations for Tyreek Hill and all of the news and rumors around Hill. And I wouldn't be able to do today's show, and your girlfriend, she might be going like this to you. Shout out to Tyreek if you're not using Manscaped products either. How do you make sure that never happens? Go to manscaped.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So we're going to get into the latest news and rumors around Tyreek. Then we're going to go ahead and break down the top 5 destinations. This was the tweet that got the party started here at Chat Sports. This one's from Ian Rapoport. Another blockbuster coming, and I'll tell you what, Blockbuster needs to get back in store. I know I'm more of a Netflix guy now, but this offseason has been the craziest offseason of all time. If somebody says, oh, that's never going to happen, or, oh, sorry, that's not going to happen, or that's impossible, this offseason proves anything can happen in the NFL. All right, let's go back to the tweet. Despite on the offer from the Chiefs that would make superstar Tyreek Hill one of the highest paid receivers, extension talks have stalled, and Kansas City has now given Hill's agent permission to seek a trade, sources tell me, and Tom Pelissero. This is what Pelissero had to say. Multiple teams have already engaged in trade talks on Tyreek Hill, and the expectation is that the Chiefs would get a massive haul for one of the NFL's most dynamic weapons. Who would get his monster extension elsewhere? A wild NFL offseason only gets wilder. So let me know, y'all, down in the comments section, Y for yes, or type that N for no. Will Tyreek Hill get traded? If you would have asked me this a few weeks ago, I would have said, no, you're crazy. It's the NFL, baby. It's the offseason, the craziest offseason of all time. So let me know, Y for yes, N for no, will Tyreek Hill get traded? If he does end up getting dealt, there's going to be, just monumental stuff happening, because the Chiefs have had I don't want to just call him a wide receiver. His combination of speed, quickness, his hip mobility lets Patrick Mahomes be Patrick Mahomes. It lets Eric be enemy. It lets Andy Reid be creative. So the numbers that you see here, they're obviously unbelievably impressive. But his pre-snap motion, everything that he does before the ball's even hiked, even in plays that don't go to him, that opens up so much for the Kansas City Chiefs. But you had to know, when you were going to go ahead and pay Patrick Mahomes all the money that he's about to get, $35 million this year, $45 million next year, you start to have to make a decision. Do I have enough money to go out and pay some of these top guys? In terms of the highest paid wide receivers per year, Davante Adams makes the most at $28 million. DeAndre Hopkins at $27.25, DJ Moore at $20.63, Keenan Allen at $20, Chris Godwin at $20 million a year, and it sounds like Tyreek Hill could be getting more than Davante Adams if and when probably he's traded. This is what Aaron Wilson had to say on Twitter. Chiefs expected to seek 2 first-round draft picks and more in exchange for Tyreek Hill. After contract talks reached an impasse, it was expected to be coming in at the $21.75 million, but price expected to be even higher on an extension. That's crazy. I mean, when you really think about 2 first-round picks, Davante Adams went for $28 million, 5-year deal, and the Raiders gave up a first and a second rounder. Really curious to see what the Chiefs end up getting here. Now, we're live here on Chat Sports. We're breaking it down. You know what? We're also live on Rumble, having a hell of a time. I want to get to 286,000 subscribers. How do we do that? You hit that big red button that says subscribe. You turn on those notifications because if Tyreek Hill happens, we're already going to be live, and there's so much crazy shit that has already happened this offseason. I don't want you to miss anything. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 286,000 subs. If you love the NFL, then we are the channel for you. Let's get in now to my top 5 Tyreek Hill trade destinations, and I should mention there are a clear-cut 2 favorites. But you know what? We're going to sprinkle in a few other ones in there. Coming in here at number 5, it's the New Orleans Saints. Some people are like, wait, Mitch, the Saints don't have any money. I want you to go ahead and check Spotrac or Over the Cap. They're top 3 in salary cap space right now. I know, you can make a lot of money move around. New Orleans, they need another receiver. Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill. All I'm saying, it's interesting. At number 4, it's the Green Bay Packers. They should absolutely go out and try to make Aaron Rodgers happy. You just went ahead and traded away Davante Adams. Well, why don't you take that first pick and that second-round pick that you just got from the Raiders, give that to Tyreek Hill, and try to make him happy? I could also make the argument, well, why wouldn't you just give that money to Davante Adams, which you're 100% right. But Green Bay, Tyreek, I believe that they could end up trying to trade him away to an NFC team. Now, the teams that are most interested sound like they're in the AFC. To make sure that your girl always stays interested in you or significant other, go to manscaped.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping. I am a big fan of the Ultra Premium Collection. Why? The moment I step in that shower, I'm using the shampoo, using the conditioner, lathering up my body with the body wash. And then as soon as I come out, a little deodorant, a little lip balm, and then my girlfriend, she's like, wow, you smell great, you look good. Studies show that girls are more attracted to the way a man smells than a way he looks. It's a fact. If you don't believe me, hey, that's what Google says at least. All I know is this, y'all. We're always trying to hook you guys up with good NFL content, but why not also give you a nice little hookup tip as well? It's manscaped.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping. Don't let your girl say peace like Tyreek Hill. At number 3, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. And the reason why the Eagles are on here, if I was Philly, I'd be like, all right, I got pick 15, 16, and 19. How much you want? We'll even maybe throw in Jalen Reagor since he's been a debacle, we'll say, with Philadelphia. You throw in 2 first-round picks, a speedster like Jalen Reagor over to Kansas City. Is that enough? I'm not 100% sure. I also know, man, Eagles, they like to get very aggressive. I will say this, though. It does sound like there is a top 2-tier teams or 2 clear-cut favorites. And coming in at number 2 is the New York Jets. And when I think about the Jets, you got Zach Wilson. And it's kind of funny, right? When I saw this initial report come out, I was like, no way that they're going to trade him inside the AFC. But maybe the Chiefs are just like, it's the New York Jets. They're going to figure out a way to screw this up. I know the Jets' new general manager loves athletes. That's exactly what Tyreek Hill is. He is everything an athlete truly is. And if you're trying to help Zach Wilson get better? With all the reports out there from Rapoport, from Schefter, saying that the Jets are absolutely in the mix, that they've already put out an offer on the table. It's just up to Tyreek Hill at this point. However, you're noticing that they're not number one. So before I tell you which team I think is going to go ahead and make the move for Tyreek Hill, I want to know from every single one of y'all, if traded, who is the most likely team to go out and get Tyreek Hill? Let me know what y'all are thinking. I know we're live here on Rumble. I know we're live here on YouTube. We got a lot of excitement down there in the chat, and I know you can't wait to see what answer we got going on. If traded, who is the most likely team to go out and get Tyreek Hill? If you guys want even more exclusive content from NFL Daily, go ahead and give us a follow, rumble.com/NFL Daily. And if you're a Chiefs fan watching right now, my guy Harrison Graham is actually live over on our Chiefs channel on Rumble, rumble.com/Chiefs TV, breaking down all this meltdown that's going on right now in Kansas City. So the number one team most likely to go out and get Tyreek Hill is the Miami Dolphins. I know that they have the draft capital. You got a first-round pick this year, 2 first-round picks next year. I also know Mike McDaniel is going to be very aggressive. They have a lot of money on the table, and Tyreek Hill's agent lives in Miami. I think that matters quite a bit. So here's my next question that I'm going to get into, because when you consider the fact that Davante Adams, he was traded last week, it's a big-time deal. Now you have Tyreek Hill, who could end up getting traded. If you could pick, if you were an NFL team, who would you rather have? Let's not say contracts involved. If it was just, you can either have this player or this player, who's the better wide receiver? Is it Tyreek Hill, type TH, or is it Davante Adams? I want you to go ahead and type DA. The reason why I'm asking this is because the Raiders last week, they went ahead, they made a trade. All they had to do was give up 1 first and a second-round pick. If the reports are true that Kansas City is looking for 2 first-rounders and then some, I think that kind of just goes to show how much of a steal this trade ended up being for the Las Vegas Raiders. And if I got any Raider fans down there in the comments, go ahead, give us a follow over on Locals, RaidersReport.locals.com, exclusive content all around the silver and black. So let's get into these top 5 trade destinations one more time. We're going to sprinkle in the New Orleans Saints, the Green Bay Packers. I personally think the Philadelphia Eagles should be pretty aggressive, but there is a clear-cut 2 favorites, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. If you disagree with me, yell at me down in the comments. If you made it this far in the video and you think Tyreek Hill is going to get traded, I want you to go ahead and like the video. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and give some shout-outs here. We got 800 people watching right now, and if you go ahead and throw in some super chats, we'll put you up on screen. Steven, I see you. We got mailbags coming up. We're going to be breaking down some news and rumors also around the Miami Dolphins, because it does sound like they are the favorites to go out and get Tyreek Hill. But let's give some shout-outs here. I got a burp. All right, we got Junior Estrada says the Pats. I don't see that one happening, man. B-Rape says the Jets. We got one coming in here for the Dolphins from Shermani. Jets from B-Rape. Gangrene from Jacob. Dolphins. Pats. Robert Bruce says Pats. Both teams should go out and get them. Public One News says the Bears should go get them. Corbin. Colts. Colts on that first-round pick this year. The Jags from Darren. Eagles from Taylor. Du Bois says the Broncos. You traded away your first-round picks to get Russell Wilson. The Texans, that would be a slap in the face, wouldn't it? The Atlanta Falcons, the Buffalo Bills from Stephen. If that happens, that would get wild. Let's go to my man, Stephen Rockwell. I could see the Cowgirls trading for Hill. And nope. All right, it is official. The trade has just gone down. The Kansas City Chiefs are trading Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks. A first-round pick this year. Hang on a second. I'm getting to this quick as we can. A first-round pick this year. A second-round pick this year, so 29 and 50. A fourth-round pick this year, as well as a fourth-round pick in next season. And then, so wait, did they only give up 1 first? First-round pick. This is confusing. Schefter's tweet is terrible, by the way. Wow. So it looks like it's only one first-round pick for Tyreek Hill. That's pretty clutch for Kansas City. The deal just went down. Tyreek Hill is the newest member of the Miami Dolphins. I mean, that's terrible timing. It's all good, though. Who's the better wide receiver? Let me know down in the comment section. TH for Tyreek Hill or DA for Davante Adams? Aaron B, can he land in Arizona? No, he's already going to the Miami Dolphins. That trade is a done deal. Trade is a done deal. The picks are this. 2022 first, 2022 second, fourth round pick in 2022, and then a fourth and a sixth in 2023. The contract details are not out yet. However, that's a lot of draft picks. But the fact that you didn't have to give up 2 firsts, shout out to Miami, because Miami then has 2 first-round picks next year. That's really, really incredible. So again, y'all, we went live here. If we get an L3, that the breaking news is the Kansas City Chiefs have traded away Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. Let's go to the full details here. The first round pick, number 29 overall, goes to Kansas City. Then you get a second round pick and a fourth round pick. So number 50, the fourth rounder, and then in 2023, a fourth and a sixth. So let me know, y'all, who won the trade. Type MIA for the Miami Dolphins, or I want you to go ahead and type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. What's going to be happening here now is we're going to get into the breaking news around the Miami Dolphins, around everything going on. But first, I got to give some shout-outs here to some super chats that came on in. From Derek, it said, no state taxes. His agent also lives in Miami. I definitely think that is a big-time part of this. So, something to definitely talk about there. And then we got Aaron B. Again, he's already been sent to the Miami Dolphins. Done deal. It's already happened. If you're a Dolphins fan and you want to go ahead and celebrate, you can go ahead by subscribing to youtube.com/DolphinsNews. That's our YouTube channel here at Chat Sports, always doing our best to keep you up to date with everything going on around the Miami Dolphins. We've been trying to get to 22,000 subs. I make some content over there. We're about to get the new guy, Willie Betts. He's about to come on the show as well and break some stuff down. We got the whole team making videos around the Dolphins. So if you're a Dolphins fan and you want to celebrate, then go ahead and click that subscribe button for Dolphins news and rumors 24/7. 360, I don't know, maybe 365. We get enough subs there. All right, y'all. So what's going to happen here is this. We're going to get into the whole details here of everything going on around the Tyreek Hill trade. And then I believe Tom Downey is going to hop on the mic, answer your questions, go through some top free agents, and we're just going to keep this boat going. We're going to keep the party started. So keep the party going here from top to bottom. Latoya says Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers won the trade. You're not wrong. I mean, I can't wait to see now what Patrick Mahomes looks like without Tyreek Hill. Can't wait to see it. What it looks like without Tyreek, because that's what really helped out Andy Reid. It really helped out Eric Bieniemy. It helped out a lot of people from top to bottom. So when we're ready on that Dolphins cut, I think we go to it. All right, so the Tyreek Hill, per Rapoport, and this is not confirmed, it says what it could look like. We could be looking at a 3-year deal with more than $70 million in guaranteed dollars. That's what it could look like. It's not guaranteed. It's what it could end up looking like. Cool. All right, guys. Well, what we're going to do is get into this breaking news around Tyreek Hill. Tom Downey burner account. Miami win. F them picks. Win now. I'm kind of with you. If you can win right now and you can get aggressive, that helps. What I'm curious now is Kansas City losing out on that. Ooh, man. I mean, they're kind of losers in an AFC West right now. It's getting pretty wild. No doubt about it. King Higgins just said KC last in the AFC West confirmed. I don't know about that, but I'm telling you, that is a huge, huge loss to that offense. And we're about to see really, really quick if Patrick Mahomes is the guy that everyone says that he is. I think everyone still knows Patrick is great, but is he the number one quarterback in the NFL? You're about to find out. The fact that Travis Kelce's getting up there in age as well, a lot of different moving parts from top to bottom, no doubt about it. So how do y'all think, or who won the trade? Type MIA for the Miami Dolphins, or I want you to go ahead and type KC down in the comments. So let's at least get the trade details up, and until we're ready to get this thing going. All right, we got Wandel's Ultimate Team, Max Kaufman, I appreciate you. So the deal that went down was this. The Miami Dolphins, they get Tyreek Hill. His agent lives in Miami. The Kansas City Chiefs, they get a first and second round and fourth round pick this year. So 29, 50, and then in 2023, a fourth and a sixth. So the fact that Miami only had to give up one first rounder, they get to keep both of their first round picks next season is pretty incredible. Seeing a lot of MIA saying that they should go out and win now. I'm telling you what, this is a big, big loss for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're ready? All right, guys, we're going to get in now to the latest going on around Tyreek Hill. We got some breaking news here for you on Chat Sports. Tyreek Hill has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports breaking all of this down for you. And I wouldn't be able to do today's show if it wasn't for our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. If you're trying to stay in your best ball grooming area, head on over to manscaped.com/chat, where you guys can get 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So the news happened, and this happened very, very quickly. There were some rumblings earlier on today that the Chiefs have allowed Tyreek Hill to go ahead and seek a trade. And now, just an hour later, the deal ended up going down. This is from Adam Schefter. Chiefs are trading six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks, a 2022 first, a second, a fourth-round pick, as well as a fourth and a sixth in the 2023 NFL Draft. Also from Adam Schefter, and Tyreek Hill will get a new contract, making him the NFL's newest highest paid wide receiver 1 week after Davante Adams had set the mark. And Hill now has agreed to a new contract with the Dolphins per Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, Jason Rosenhaus. Remember, Tyreek Hill's agent, Rosenhaus, lives in Miami. So here was the trade that ended up going down. The Dolphins, they receive speedster Tyreek Hill, and I'm telling y'all right now, good luck trying to hang with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That's a lot of speed. The Kansas City Chiefs end up getting a first and a second. I want who won the trade. A second and a fourth in 2022, and then in 2023, a fourth and a sixth round pick. So I want to know from all y'all watching right now, who won the trade? Type MIA for the Miami Dolphins, or I want you to go ahead and type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that the Chiefs got 5 draft picks. I understand that they might not have wanted to make him the highest paid receiver in the National Football League, considering the fact that I actually do think Kansas City deserves a little bit of credit here, because they've hung tough with all the drama that was around Tyreek before the draft, with all the drama that was around Tyreek just 2 years ago. They hung by him. However, this is a clear win for Miami and a clear win for the Dolphins, for Tyreek Hill. And it's a clear win for the AFC West, because you don't got to deal with that man anymore, because there's no doubt, you're going to look at these numbers here, he's one of the best receivers in the league. But he's probably the best, not even probably, he's the best weapon in the National Football League. Everything that he has given to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, the entire Chiefs offense, the pre-snap reads, him moving across the line of scrimmage, running the football, special teams, Tyreek's impact is just measured so much more than the numbers that you see over here. And if I was Tua Tagovailoa, dude, I'd be rock hard right now. Shout out to Manscaped. So let me know down in those comments, y'all. Let's hear it. What is your one-word reaction to the Hill trade? One-word reaction. I'm going to say balls to the walls. And I know it's not a one-word reaction, but let's just hyphenate it, because that's what Miami did here. Miami said, okay, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that Tyreek can go ahead and do it. And if you want to talk about balls to the walls, I think the word for the Chiefs is choke. You choked this one. You should never have left Tyreek Hill leave, because now your offense is going to change. Now you might see Patrick Mahomes get exposed a little bit. And if you guys are trying to expose your private parts, shout out to Manscaped. They're going to make sure that they are looking A++. So how do you make sure that you are? All the good stuff going on down there. You got to go to manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Manscaped just released their Ultra Premium Collection, which you can get for promo code chat. To make sure that your girlfriend doesn't throw up a peace sign, then you need to use all of their awesome products. From that moment you step in the shower, the body wash, the shampoo, conditioner, the body spray, the deodorant, the lip balm, Manscaped's going to make sure that your not-so-private parts are looking absolutely fantastic. Go ahead, use that link down in the comments and in the description. It's manscaped.com/chat. Hey, go ahead. Let's get set up. Let's now look at before the deal went down, because we still don't have the contract details out yet, the highest paid wide receivers per year. Davante Adams set this mark last week when he agreed to a 5-year deal, $140 million deal with the Las Vegas Raiders at $28 million. According to reports from Ian Rapoport and from Adam Schefter, Tyreek Hill's money per year is going to surpass Davante Adams at $28 million. It also has been noted at this current moment that Ian Rapoport expects Tyreek to get a 3-year deal with more than $70 million in guaranteed. So now, not only do you have to try to scheme for Tyreek Hill, you also have to try to go out and stop this man here, Jalen Waddle, who, if he would have been able to participate in the NFL Combine, that guy's running the 4.267. He also broke the NFL record for most receptions by a rookie, which was previously set by Anquan Bolden back in, I think, 2003. So now you got Waddle. Now you have Tyreek Hill. You also added some pieces on your offensive line like Connor Williams, Teron Armstead. If I'm Tua Tagovailoa, I'm like, Mike McDaniel is absolutely killing this offseason. I mean, you also added Chase Edmonds. You added Raheem Mostert. You also were able to franchise tag Mike Gesicki. You brought back Emmanuel Ogbah. People are not discussing this enough, but right now the clear-cut winner of NFL offseason free agency has to be the Miami Dolphins. It has to be. And if we got any Dolphin fans in the comments section right now, I want you to go ahead and give our YouTube channel a follow. We're trying to get to 22,000 subs over on our Dolphins YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Dolphins News. We broke down the Teron Armstead deal late last night. We've been breaking down all the free agency moves that have been going down in Miami. And the reason why, multiple reasons why this one ended up going down. Tyreek Hill's agent lives in Miami. Also, you got to remember, the assistant GM down in for the Dolphins was previously with the Kansas City Chiefs, with the regime that drafted Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. That also cannot be stated enough. And it looks like we're getting an update here around Tyreek Hill, and this is from Tom Pelissero, that the Dolphins are signing Tyreek Hill to a 3-year, interesting, $75 million extension as part of the trade from the Chiefs per source. So he's now under contract through the 2025 season at $23.8 million per year overall. So by most metrics, the NFL's newest highest paid receiver. So the 23.8 is, I'm going to go ahead and guess, because when you look at the Davante Adams deal, there's a 3-year out. So if you look at the actual first 3 years in Adams' deal, he's making $22.5 million, and the Raiders can actually get out very easily of the past 2 seasons. So this number does technically make Tyreek the highest paid if you look at that 3-year range, which is what I'm guessing Tyreek's agent, which is what I'm guessing that you're seeing here. So here's my question. Who's the better wide receiver? I want you to go ahead and type TH for Tyreek Hill, or I want you to go ahead and type DA for Davante Adams, because the Chiefs technically did get more in return, okay, in terms of overall draft picks, but Miami gave up more. I think Tyreek is a phenomenal player, but I am going to take Davante Adams. So the fact that Davante's cheaper than Tyreek, the fact that Tyreek, you had to give up more, I think that just goes to show how great that trade was by the Raiders going out and getting Davante Adams. I mean, the clear winners here, Miami's the clear winner. The Denver Broncos are a clear winner. The Chargers are a clear winner. I mean, there's a lot of clear winner. The Raiders are clear winner. Buffalo, though, is probably like, shit, he's away from Kansas City, what makes them happy. But now you got to go up against Tyreek Hill 2 times a year. We always promise y'all, if it's breaking news, we got you covered. If it's interacting with our live fans in the chat like Chris, Q-Tip, JJ, Tiffany, Untouchable Raider 1960, we got you. Chat Sports, videos every single day, 2 times a day, sometimes even more than that. If you're looking for NFL content, NBA, college football, we are the #1 channel for you because not only do we keep you up to date, we're also interactive and we like to have a good time as well. So make sure you subscribe to not only Chat Sports, but to also our Dolphins channel because I'm telling you what, Dolphins fans, y'all are doing a lot of crazy things this offseason, and it's going to be one hell of a year if you're living down in Miami. All right, y'all, I want to know down in the comments, what's your one-word reaction to the Hill trade? We're going to go ahead and give some shout-outs here. And then I believe Tom Downey's going to come on. I'm getting the thumbs up. So then what's going to happen is I'm going to give some shout-outs. Tom's going to come on here. And Tom's going to take the party over. He's going to answer your questions. I'll answer some super chats while we get some of these one-word reactions in. Let's go to Hanzo. Sportscaster Nick Wright. Sportscaster punching the air right now. Hell yeah, baby. I love seeing it. F Nick. Nick Wright is a joke. Let's go to Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers won the trade. You're right. And Miami. Those are your clear-cut 4 winners. Clear-cut 4 winners. Josh, great last name. You're next up. Patriots should give up a first for Waddle. I mean, why would Miami do that? Why would they trade Jalen Waddle to a division rival for a first-round pick? Because I see New England's pick at, 21 for Waddle? No. I'd want a lot more than that. I'm telling you that right now. Let's go to Tom Downey's actual account. Miami win. F them picks. Win now. You're right. You always go ahead and you try to win now. If you have an opportunity to get a player like Tyreek Hill, you got to do it. You got to do everything in your absolute power to go ahead and make it happen. All right, so we actually just got an update on the contract details. This is from Drew Rosenhaus. It's a 4-year, $120 million. That's per Drew Rosenhaus. 4-year extension worth $120 million. So that's $30 million a year with $72.2 million in guaranteed. Wow. 4 years, 120, $72.2 million in guaranteed dollars for Tyreek Hill. Let's give some shout-outs here to some people. Ernie says, eat a chip. Who's the winner of the trade? Or give me those one-word reactions. Some of the one words that are coming in are the F word. We got Raiders, Chip down there. F yeah, FKC. Miami, unexpected. Steal from Captain Rex. Duh. From Robert Bruce. Another steal from Captain Rex. We got That's Insane from Ghosted 2K. Keep those one-word reactions coming in. Juju, legendary. Duh, crazy. Hill trade was cool from MVP. Next super chat coming in is from King Higgins. KC last in the AFC West. Confirmed. I don't know about that yet. But, I mean, this is going to hurt Kansas City. We have to be honest with ourselves. That trade's really going to hurt the Chiefs. Let's go to Andre. Raiders! Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Next super chat coming in here is Raiders won this trade, but for real, Miami won. Chiefs and Mahomes is going to be exposed without Hill. I'm kind of with you. I don't know if exposed is the right word, but I am very curious if people will still consider Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback in the National Football League without Tyreek Hill. So one more time, y'all, we decided to go live a little bit early here on today's show because we had some breaking news that ended up going down. The Miami Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill. The Kansas City Chiefs get a first, second, and a fourth-round pick this year, and then a fourth and a sixth-round pick next year. Also, we just got $22,900 super chat, but it's about $5. So shout out to ED. Much love to you, man. Here was the deal that ended up going down. We're getting ready now to switch over to Tom Downey when he gets ready. He's going to go through the top free agents left. He's going to be taking y'all through the mailbags that we have scheduled. We're going to keep this party going. We're going to keep the boat rocking here because we got some breaking news bright and early. It's not even noon yet where we're at here in Dallas, Texas. But you know what? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so let's get this boat going. Let's keep the party rocking. It's going to be one hell of a day here at Chat Sports. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go on over to the Raiders Report. We're going to celebrate getting rid of Tyreek Hill over there. So in the meantime, let me know who won the deal. Type MIA for the Miami Dolphins, or I want you to go ahead and type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Every single one of y'all should be typing MIA. I mean, this is a clear winner for the Miami Dolphins. And I think absolutely. Also, I mean, when you only give up one first, I get the other picks are there, and you're going to be paying them a lot of money, but you got to get as much as you possibly can out of Tua Tagovailoa. You got to be able to figure out if Tua is the guy, if he's your franchise quarterback, and you're doing everything in your power to do that. You go out, you trade for Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle entering his second year. You re-sign Mike Gesicki. You go out and you sign Connor Williams. You go out and you sign Teron Armstead. You get him two better running backs. I mean, Miami is killing this offseason right now. We got 1,960 people watching. We got Captain Rex. We got Tay Jackson. All spamming MIA. Now we got a few people spamming AFC West. Also as clear-cut winners. So who won the deal? Type MIA for the Miami Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now joining me is Tom Downey. Tom, who won the deal, my brother?
Not the Chiefs.
A lot of teams
did. I think the haul back is good.
Yep.
Like you're getting a first, a second, a bunch of other picks, but you lost your best offensive player, not named Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
You lost the most dynamic receiver in the entire NFL.
Yep.
You didn't get better when you're trying to win titles right now.
Absolutely.
So purely from, of course, the on-field standpoint, that's not great for KC. And I know that he just got a bunch of money from Miami. Maybe I just would have paid that.
I think they should have paid it. I'm really curious what you see here out of Patrick Mahomes. So, Tom, he's going to go ahead. He's going to take over for the rest of this show. He's going to be doing all your mailbags. He's going to be going through the top free agents still left. I'm getting ready to head on over to the Raiders Report. I'm telling y'all right now, we're getting ready to party over there. So if you're a Raider fan, hop over there. If you want to hang out here with Tom Downey as well, you can go ahead and do that. So until then, I'll see you in a little bit over on the Raiders Report.
Welcome into NFL Daily. Give me your one-word reaction to the Tyreek Hill trade. I'll give some shout-outs here live on YouTube as we're going to get back to our normally scheduled day of NFL coverage in light of the Tyreek Hill. I'm calling it trade chaos, by the way. All right, I got wow, unexpected, crazy, wow, no from Caden Russell, amazing. Lots of wows, lots of crazy. That certainly makes plenty of sense for me, or from my perspective. Steal, insane, steal, surprised, shocking, shock, well, damn, steal, shocked, holy, expletive, I assume was the next one there. Greer, all right, the GM, I like that one. I just missed the name, but that's a good creative one there. Let's see, I've got Miami, tough, shocked. Harrison was at Chiefs. He is in shambles, by the way. He is a broken person at this stage. Pat, that was a 23K super chat, but it wasn't an American, so not really. Stunned, yabba dabba doo from High. That's a good one to hit there. Bengals in there, Denver, so other teams' fans are quite happy about it as well. This was the super chat that did come in, by the way, from Ed. I'm not familiar what that currency is. Is it Brazilian? I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. I'll Google it here in a second. Miami still keeping their 2 firsts next year and did not trade X. And it's Xavier Howard. Greer's a genius. Is the O-line still a big need? Yeah, I mean, you added Teron Armstead. So the Dolphins this year, they got a hell of a lot better on offense. You had Tyreek Hill, 2 different starters on the offensive line. You know, we did free agency winners and losers on Mondays live. It went out yesterday. Miami now gets an A pretty clearly as far as I'm concerned. Big-time move by the Dolphins. Number 1 receiver. You still got Jalen Waddle, too. You got picks next year. I love it for Miami. Can you get that much better this season? You're a little bit light on capital, but I don't hate it anyway. So we will revisit the Tyreek news hill in between the mailbags and whatnot, but it is mailbag time here. Could be Tyreek Hill, cannot be Tyreek Hill related. Use hashtag NFL or Super Chat If you want to jump the line and get your questions on the show like so many of you have already done so far today, thank you guys very much for that. I'll drink for any super chat that comes in of at least $5 if someone at some point gets me a beer. If we get one, you're good, Jack. Just a beer, doesn't matter what. But not that gross seltzer shit that's out there. So hashtag NFL or super chat if you want to get on the show, as we will have more Tyreek Hill coverage and everything going on around the NFL right now. You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. We're live right now for the Tyreek Hill news, but also getting to your questions coming out of it and across the NFL here with the latest NFL news and rumors. So if you haven't already, subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Mike Sweet, Miami should trade Tua to Seattle and then trade for Baker. Then, depending on QBs in the draft next year, see what upgrades could potentially happen. Why are you making what is at best a lateral and more expensive move at QB? I don't think that makes any sense for Miami. I think Seattle would have interest in it. I think Tua's better than Baker after what happened this past year for Mayfield, plus his large contract. So I would be of the mindset that doesn't make any sense for Miami. Give Tua the year. If it doesn't work out with all these weapons and upgraded offensive line, then yes, look at upgrades next season. All right, from Jacob Raleigh, what happens to Jordan Love? It's a great question. I don't know what the likely outcome here is. I don't know who wants him. His contract is not a particularly great one to deal with in terms of being a former first-round pick, having low value. So a day 3 pick to somebody, but who's going to spend a day 3 pick and think Love's your guy? You're kind of not investing all the way in him. So Love's kind of in a rough spot moving forward, I believe. All right, Stephen Rockwell. Chiefs trade for DK Metcalf now. I don't think the Seahawks would give him up, but I'd offer one of your 2 first-round picks for Metcalf. Obviously, you got to pay DK as well, and that could be a problem since the Chiefs apparently don't want to pay big money to the receiver. But Metcalf's younger and doesn't carry the off-the-field stuff that Hill did as well. So I'm open to that idea. I don't know if it's the most likely outcome, but I think it's worth considering from that standpoint. Super chat time from Joey Pan. The fact only had to part with 1 first-rounder and 1 second-rounder, 2 fourths, and a 6th, that's crazy. Allegedly, the Dolphins wanted 2 firsts. I think the Jets' offer, by the way, was going to be better than what the Dolphins offered, but I guess Tyreek wanted to go to Miami instead. All right, Teddy Allen. Should the Ravens trade for James Bradberry? What are you going to do at nickel is my real concern. I don't think Bradberry plays there. And you can put Marlon Humphrey in there at points. They've done that before as kind of like the shadow flex piece along the cornerback spot. But I also don't know if that is a likely outcome. I don't think Bradberry's an ideal fit for the Ravens. So I don't hate it, but not the path I'd probably go. Who has been the NFL's biggest offseason loser so far? Maybe it's the Chiefs after the Tyreek Hill trade, although I thought they were crushing the offseason before that. Let me know in the comments who the biggest loser was. You guys can be a hater. Let me know in the comments which team you think is in the worst spot. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know who the biggest offseason loser is so far. You can be mean. It's a safe spot to do that. All right, from Chase Joslin, Dolphins contenders for the AFC East now. Possibly. I still think the Bills are the favorites, but you look at it as loaded as the AFC is, at minimum, they were almost a playoff team last year, right? They got better on offense. The Titans, I still think, and the Colts are going to run kind of the AFC South here. But it is the Dolphins and the Bills in the AFC East. Then it maybe is the Patriots down there as the 3 seed because they haven't gotten any better as of late. The AFC West is still stacked. It is going to be a highly competitive conference to win games and have success. So they're contenders, but there are a lot of contenders in the AFC overall. Hagen Housewright, possible spot for Devontae Parker. Good question. I could see them shopping him, although maybe you roll it back because you did just sign Cedric Wilson too, right? You have Cedric Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Preston Williams, I guess, is back. Make Preston your 5. I could see them shopping Davante Parker. That's a really good point that I hadn't thought about until just now, Hagen. Jets won him. They were obviously interested there. Packers would be a great fit, I think, for Davante Parker as a big-bodied threat. So I would shop Davante. He's not going to bring you back that much, however. Mr. Payne, 5-2-2. Do you see any teams double-dipping in the same position in the first round, i.e. the Chiefs pick 2 receivers in round 1? I think the 2 that make sense the most to me is the Chiefs and the Packers. What if they were to double dip at the wide receiver spot? Your other teams with multiple first-round picks, the Giants and Jets, if I can cheat by saying 2 offensive linemen for New York, for the Giants, I think that could make sense. I don't know if the Jets would double dip. Philadelphia has 3 first-round picks. I think they're going to spread that out over multiple positions. So the ones that I would watch for are the Chiefs, like you mentioned, and the Packers going wide receiver as well. NFL Daily is now on Rumble. If you haven't already, go follow us and support us over there at rumble.com/NFL Daily. We've got uncensored videos, so when I drop F-bombs, I don't get yelled at. Check the comment section and the description. We'll put that link in there for you guys in the comment section. It's rumble.com/NFL Daily. From Brokov, as Mitch burps very loudly in the studio here. I thought you weren't drinking today. Should the Chiefs sign Julio Jones or Cole Beasley? So just where it sits right now for KC. Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, Josh Gordon, Therese Fontaine, Corey Coleman. I think that Juju will get plenty of slot reps, so I don't think Beasley makes the most sense. Julio, though, I do worry that his value is more or less kind of washed up at this point. So I would have interest, but I think draft. Maybe Jamison Williams round 1 makes a lot of sense now for KC. All right, Ozzie Guillen, thoughts on Cole Beasley joining the Steelers since he played with Mitch last year. They didn't play that much, but they were on the same team, so sure. It depends on how you want to utilize your wide receivers. A lot of Cole Beasley questions today, which I think is fair. You've got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Those are 2 of your guys. Do you want to have one of them be your slot? If so, Cole doesn't make sense for you. If you want to keep him on the outside, which I think they can both do both to an extent, then yeah, I do think at that point Cole Beasley makes sense for Pittsburgh. Speaking of the AFC North, who is the best QB right now in that division? Type in 4 for it's Deshaun Watson. Type in 9 for it's Joe Burrow. 8 for Lamar Jackson. Or 10 for Mitchell Trubisky. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section right now. From Johan Camarco, I think that's how you pronounce it, Johan. We'll see. How my dad used to pronounce it. Now with first and second gone, what is Miami going to do with the rest of their draft picks left? So I'm looking right now. Miami has a late third or 102 overall. So they will simply take the best player on the board. Maybe you look for a center there, another guard option. Maybe you double dip at offensive line. The draft is now no longer a priority for Miami. They got Tyreek Hill. It's fine there in the end. Alexander M., the Raiders going to draft Mitchell Renz for Waterboy in round 12. Mitch is not out there anymore, so I can't give him any grief for it. But I could see Mitch being a bad Waterboy. I feel like he would accidentally put vodka in it one day. That'd be my concern there.
Except it wouldn't be on accident.
All right, next up from Alfredo Rodriguez. We'll get to the super chat just came in too here. Jair Alexander trade next. God, if the Packers traded away Alexander and Davante Adams, fire the Oregon to the sun. That'd be horrible. The Packers are still trying to win games right now, and trading away one of the premier young corners, one of the premier best corners in the NFL is not how good teams tend to operate business. All right, Roger Moore. What would it cost for the Cowboys to trade up for Kayvon Thibodeau in the event he fell a few spots? And do they even have the draft capital? So what do you mean by a few spots? Do you mean like pick 9, 8, 7, where they could try to trade up for teams that want extra draft capital? you got to move your first next year. 2 firsts is what it would cost to go get Kayvon Thibodeau. So if he slides to 9, maybe you offer 24 and a first next year. I don't think the Cowboys would do that, and that's kind of like your minimum, I think, offer you would have to make, because your first and your second this year, I've got the draft trade chart pulled up here right now. That gets you to about pick 13-ish. So maybe your first gets you higher, but you still might have to throw in more there. But thanks for the super chat there, Roger. All right, from Robert, what do you think the Raiders do next? Should they inquire about Davante Parker? Do they need another receiver? Like, you've got Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Brian Edwards. You added Demarcus Robinson as well. So you can call about Davante Parker. I don't know if you want to take on that contract. You're probably trying to go cheaper. If I'm the Raiders, my next move is I'm looking offensive line. I got question marks at guard. I got question marks at center and question marks at even right tackle to an extent. So I'm looking offensive line next if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, if you want more NFL videos throughout the offseason, free agency begins to wind down, but the trades and the draft are just around the corner. So if you haven't already, subscribe. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. From Ballsy, should the Vikings try to bring back Xavier Rhodes? I don't know if Rhodes fits the scheme anymore in Minnesota. It's a different style than what they want. I would probably just re-sign Patrick Peterson and keep an eye on it in round 1. Looking at corner, Derek Stingley could very well be there for that organization. So I would have a lot of interest there if he does become available. From Peter Zampino, do the Chiefs now go Jamison Williams at 29 if available, or do they go with Olave or another prospect? You take the best receiver on the board if one of the big 5, or even Jahan Dotson or Sky Moore, whoever you like, is there. Chiefs got 29 and 30. You got to go receiver with one of those 2 picks. I think Jamison Williams is the ideal replacement. Ideal is, maybe a bit of a loose word there, but I'd be looking receiver heavily if I were KC. Stephen Handelman, then let's get to Jacob's super chat here. Are the Dolphins now contenders in the AFC? It's kind of asked this one earlier, but yeah, I think they are. The Bills are, of course, the favorites still. Patriots aren't bad, despite what producer Jack is in shambles over. And then the Jets, of course, are last. From Jacob Raleigh, if all 3 players are available, who should the Ravens take? Charles Cross, Jordan Davis, or Tyler Linderbaum? It's a great question. I could actually see probably not Cross on the board, but maybe Cross, Linderbaum, and Davis all have first-round grades on me. So if you take one of them, I think you feel great. I think you could see a scenario in which Patrick McCarry plays center, so I would be fine with that move if you want to pass on Linderbaum. If you don't think he's a scheme fit. You added Michael Pierce. Maybe you don't need Jordan Davis there. If you are worried about Ronnie Stanley long-term, you almost have to take Charles Cross. I think on my board, they're going to be ranked Linderbaum, then I think Davis or Cross, kind of a flip there. I know I'm not really answering it. Any of those 3 players would be awesome picks for the Baltimore Ravens. If I had to pick one, as long as things a scheme fit, give me Linderbaum, the center. If we did not get to any of your questions, that's okay. We know there are a lot of people watching live right now. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. My DMs are open. That way you guys can hit me up with any questions you guys have. All right, shout out your city. If Jack wants to hand me that beer, since I owe a couple drinks here for some super chats that came in. Shout out your city. Thank you, Jack. In the comment section, I'll give shout outs here. Let me crack this open. No lunch yet, no breakfast, but we ride anyway. All right, let's see. We got Dan the Cards fan. I see your super chat. Get that to the next mailbag probably. I see. All right. Idaho, Richmond, Virginia, Mexico City, Fairbanks, Actually, we'll get to the supers here in a little bit. We'll do that. Peterborough, Ontario, Fairbank, Iowa, Wales. Well, we got a nice little international crowd today. Nice. Orlando, Maquetta. Oh, that's definitely how you pronounce it. Somewhere in Iowa that I've never heard of before. Blanchester, Ohio. Rutherfordton, North Carolina. New Paltz, New York. Or is that Fall River? Something River. Oak Cliff, Texas. That's actually where I'm at these days, Jag. Commanders Rock, South Africa. Petersburg, Virginia. Sykesville, Maryland. I doubt that one. Alexander, nice try. Tokyo, Virginia Beach. Stockholm, Sweden. Portland, Oregon, Trenton, Ohio, and Rhode Island, and then Boston in there as well. All right, 2 Super Chats came. Let's hit those. I owe some beer cheers, too, by the way. Dan the Cards fan. Would MVS make sense for the Chargers? Sure. I think for the contract, having paid Mike Williams and Keenan Allen among the top 5, I think it is, highest paid receivers in the entire NFL, or tied for top 5, I doubt they want to throw another $10+ million at MVS. So they've got Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton. I don't think they're going to throw big money at MVS, which is what would be required to get him away from the Green Bay Packers. From Popular Nobody, let's assume you're the GM of Philadelphia. You've got 3 first-round picks. Who do you draft? Who do you trade for? If I were Philly, I would have been all in on Tyreek Hill. I would have offered 2 of my first-rounders. That's what I would have done. Either they didn't, or Tyreek didn't want to play in Philadelphia. Either way, that seems unlikely here. Draft and needs-wise, if you want to look interior offensive line, I wouldn't be mad at it. Maybe receiver. Edge isn't in that bad of shape either. I think corner, linebacker, areas they haven't always addressed in the past are still big focal points for them. Double dip at edge if you want to. Also, I would trade one of those firsts for a future first, just in case my QB Jalen Hurts doesn't break out the way I'm hoping to this upcoming season. The big news of the day, Tyreek Hill has been traded. Yeah, the Chiefs have moved on from their best offensive weapon, not including Patrick Mahomes, and the Miami Dolphins, ultra aggressive this offseason, have acquired him. The Dolphins are getting Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs get a late first-round pick this year, a second and a fourth this year, and a fourth and a sixth, next year. It's in total 5 draft picks and a bunch of cap space savings for the Kansas City Chiefs, as receiver is now a massive need for them. Maybe on day 2, if they don't take a receiver, they look at someone like a Calvin Austin who could fit the Tyreek Hill mold. Again, you're not going to take Tyreek Hill 2.0, but you're going to be in the market for a replacement as best as possible. Of course, that is much, much easier said than done. All right, Mike Sweet, Super Chat. I owe some more drinks here. Do you see the Packers trading for a wide receiver or going on the cheap, someone like Landry or Julio Jones, or are they relying on only the draft? Look, I would look at all the options. I don't know how much more they're going to spend is the issue. I don't know if they're really going to invest in getting help at the wide receiver spot. I feel like they're not going to throw big money at it. Like, I think that has to be the correction. Like, they are not in position of throwing big money at the spot. Landry makes sense, but they kept Randall Cobb, so maybe not Landry. Julio's a good idea. I think draft is the route they look there. So who won the trade, by the way, that Tyreek Hill trade? MIA for the Dolphins, KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know. MIA or KC. I'll give some shout-outs here. Plus, Eclipse the Rapper just threw another Super Chat. I'll hit that momentarily. KC, Miami, KC. The pin poll is, I'm gonna change the pin poll, by the way. We got to update that. I'm doing it right now. Who won the trade? I'll make that the pin poll here. Who won the Tyreek Hill trade? Dolphins and Chiefs. Those are your 2 options. If you're a Raiders fan, a Broncos fan, Chargers fan, you probably feel great right now. Bills, Patriots, maybe not so much. But who won it? KC, MIA. Let's see. I think mostly Miami's in the comments section. The pin poll is only just went up. So we'll come back on it. Early results, 72%. Super chat time from Eclipse the Rapper. How do you feel about maybe Brian Asamoah or Christian Harris as a possible Keanu Neal replacement, if they are there, of course? I think those are kind of round 3, maybe round 2 guys. I like this linebacker class a lot. I think there are a lot of good football players in terms of, getting a good linebacker on day 2. There's so many guys I'm a big fan of, even beyond the Nakobe Deans, Devin Lloyd, just Quay Walker, Channing Tindall, Damone Clark, Leo Chenal, Troy Anderson, Chad Muma. If you like Brandon Smith, that's a name. You drop 2 more there. Brian Asamoah, Christian Harris. Are 10 guys going to go top 75 at linebacker? I'm not so sure. So, sure, I'm down with those guys. I think if you're a Cowboys or any team who has somewhat of a need at the linebacker spot, you don't have to spend a premium pick. There will be players who are on the board for you in day 2 and in day 3. You're watching NFL Daily presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all of Manscaped's top-of-the-line products when you go to manscaped.com/chat and use promo code chat to get 20% off and that free shipping. We're going to break down the top free agents left, and hopefully no one else gets signed while we film, but that happens. Before we do that, I want you guys to shout out your favorite team and who you want them to sign. So it's a 2-step process there. Let me know. Favorite team and who you want them to go out and sign. Number 20, Bryce Callahan, the nickel corner. The Denver Broncos signed Quan Williams. So Callahan, who is getting older, is now a free agent. That should make him an appealing target for any team in the market for a good corner who's not going to break the bank. Number 19 here is Jarvis Landry. As Landry, there's some buzz. Maybe he goes back to Cleveland. Not sure I buy that one there. He's aging. He is not the same guy he was in his prime. He is a slot-only player. Because of that, maybe it's not the most likely outcome that he gets big money, but of the receivers out there, he certainly is intriguing. Number 18, Akeem Hicks, who is admittedly an aging defensive lineman and isn't what he was at his peak, but, not that he's not Ndamukong Suh, but we've seen guys like Suh spend a long time in the NFL being a good mercenary. I wonder if Hicks could be the exact same way. Trey Flowers now, number 17 on this list, the former Lions edge rusher, once got $17 million per year. Interestingly enough, the edge rusher market hasn't, outside of the top guys, it's kind of stagnated around that number. It's kind of what Chandler Jones got, what Von Miller actually got on his deal from the Bills. Now, Flowers is not the same guy, but if you're looking for a rotation piece, I do believe he could help you. He's there at number 17. Number 16, much like Flowers, rotational edge rusher piece. He's not a star, Derek Barnett. He was a first-round pick, has had some flashes, some moments, some ability, but he's not somebody that I really, truly trust in terms of being a high-end edge player. Rotation piece, absolutely. Full-time starter, it's probably not what you're going to get at this stage in NFL free agency. If you haven't already, please subscribe. This is your one-stop shop for everything going on around NFL free agency, the draft, the off-season, in-season, you name it, we got you covered. So if you haven't already, head down there and subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, Melvin Gordon is next up here. 15th on our list, the maybe best running back on the market. Gordon can still be a 1A or a 1B, maybe more of a 1B, but teams don't want to pay big money to running backs, and the market kind of dried up quickly. So Gordon, I would not rule out a return to Denver, which would break the hearts of fantasy owners everywhere. All right, Dwayne Brown next up here. He is old. Don't get me wrong, he's an older football player, but he can still start for you at left tackle. That is the reality of the situation for Dwayne Brown. He can be an instant impact piece for you on the offensive line. I think he's got 1, 2, maybe 3 more years left, but he can still help you on your offensive line. So if you're a team in the market for a left tackle, Brown's one of your best guys out there. Melvin Ingram, who was, as a reminder, dealt midseason from the Steelers to the Kansas City Chiefs in the offseason, or at the trade deadline, I should say. Excuse me here. I like the idea of adding him as a rotational edge rusher piece. I think Melvin Ingram can still help you on that side of the football. He's not what he was in his prime. Most of these guys, out of maybe the top 3 or 4, it's not what they were in their prime. But edge is always needed. To get more help there, that's awesome for me. Eric Fisher is next up here. And this is, I think, one of the best, and I'm going to double check my notes, the best offensive tackle left on the open market. I wonder if he goes back to Indy. I think Fisher wanted more than what Indy was willing to offer him. And he has not found that yet on the open market. So because of that, I think that he could go back to Indy. But if you want a left tackle, that's your best guy out there, I would argue, by a bigger gap than maybe 14 versus 12 suggests. But that's the talent level and the age difference, too. Number 11, Gronk himself. He just goes back to Tampa, right? Like that's my prediction. He goes play with Tom Brady or he retires. Like, one more year, run it back in Tampa Bay with Brady and try to win a title. They, of course, re-signed Cam Brate. O.J. Howard's gone, so tight end, yes, is a need. But, he's still Gronk. He will forever be Gronk. Now, Gronk would love this question. I want you, request, I should say, spam balls in the chat as today's show is presented by our sponsor, Manscaped. You can get the Lawnmower 4.0, trim those balls up nicely. You can also get the Ultra Premium Collection. That's body spray, body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, because why use two things when one thing does trick? 20% off and free shipping on the Ultra Premium Collection, Performance Package, all of it at manscaped.com/chat. Get the 20% off and the free shipping right now. Check the comment section and the description. We'll put that link and the promo code for you down there. Number 10, Kyle Van Noy, the linebacker/edge rusher. Patriots cut him. It made producer Jack get down in his feelings real bad. But I do like the idea of having Van Noy as a rotational piece depending on what scheme you run. I think he's a bit scheme specific, but he's always been productive across his entire NFL situation. Anthony Barr is next up here, number 9 on our list. And Barr's an interesting player. He's not going back to Minnesota. They added Zadarius Smith and Jordan Hicks, so there goes his roles. The Jets were going to sign him as kind of an edge rusher. Could he do that at this point in his NFL career? I'm not so sure. I wonder where he goes. I don't think he's going to be as expensive as the name recognition might suggest. But yeah, I would have some interest in Anthony Barr. Calais Campbell, number 8 on our list, the defensive tackle here. I like Campbell a lot. I think he is aging, don't get me wrong, but he's still a really good football player along the defensive line. Is he going to be the peak Campbell? No, he's not. And we know how the NFL doesn't like to give big money to aging football players. But yeah, Campbell is still useful. He's still helpful for you along that front. So I would not be surprised if he went back to the Baltimore Ravens, but I think he'd be a good pickup. I was surprised when the Browns cut J.C. Tretter. Is Nick Harris their guy moving forward at center? Maybe, maybe not. I think he is the best offensive lineman left on the board. We are starting to get into the young top guys are kind of gone, but the older guys who can still start and won't be as expensive are also out there at this point. Number 6, Julio Jones, the wide receiver. I am concerned that Julio's kind of washed. His last 2 years have been worse than almost any year of his entire NFL career. That's not good if you're Julio Jones. And the injuries have added up over the season. So is it a lock that he's washed up? No, of course not. I would still gamble on if I need a receiver. That's why he's 6 on our list. But this is not prime Julio Jones here. All right, who is the top free agent left? I've got my top 5 here coming up, but I want to hear from you guys first. Head down to the comment section. Let me know who is the top free agent left on the open market. Number 5, Odell Beckham Jr. Did the Chiefs go get him now? The Packers didn't have the money last year because they were paying Randall Cobb too much. Did he go back to the Rams? Do the Browns bring him back now that they've moved on from Baker Mayfield? And maybe. I think there will be some interest in Odell Beckham, but I don't know if he's going to break the bank coming off the injury. One thing I know to be true, and maybe I'll reverse jinx it here, Jadeveon Clowney never signs quickly. That is not what he does. He takes his time. He waits like he doesn't like training camp or something or off-season workouts, whatever. I think going back to the Browns is still a very real possibility for Clowney, but he is by a significant margin the top edge left on the open market. Is he ever going to be a double-digit sack guy? Maybe one day, but he's not bad. And that does carry value as a high-end edge too. You're talking, $10 million or more per year for Clowney. About Tyrann Mathieu, Chiefs, I guess, are not going to bring him back because they went out and paid Justin Reid, which I'm fine with. But the Chiefs let him leave. Plenty of teams need safety help. And Mathieu is in a unique situation of being a third-time high-paid safety. Is he aging? Yeah. Should a team sign him? Hell yeah, of course they should. All right, Bobby Wagner, the linebacker. The Seahawks cut him because they're rebuilding. Call it what it is there. Wagner is not what he was at his peak. I believe the decline has begun to set in for Bobby Wagner. But you can still pay him $220. I think that's fine for Bobby Wagner. It's not that bad. He was going to make $20 from Seattle. Hypothetically, of course, they did not give it to him. If you can add Wagner to your defense, you're still getting a damn good starter and a highly intelligent veteran leader as well. At number 1, it is Stephon Gilmore. As Gilmore has been out there for a while, I think his market has regressed the past 2 years. The Patriots didn't want to pay him. They got Little back in a trade. He was good, not great in Carolina. He's getting up there in age in terms of being a high-end player for you. So, Gilmore's my number 1 guy. We'll see where he goes. There are still plenty of teams. There are always teams who need cornerback help. All right, so who is the top free agent left? I'll give some shout-outs here, and then we'll get to another mailbag here. A lot of people saying Odell's going to KC. Yeah, I feel you there. Someone said Broncos for Clowney. They got edges there. J.C. Treader, etc. I've got Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner again from Just Blaze and Brad Fearnow. Wagner. I'm looking up on the Jet side here momentarily. Tyrann Mathieu, Stephon Gilmore, Jarvis Landry, Bobby Wagner, Jarvis Landry, okay. Mathieu, OBJ, Gronk, Gilmore, Wagner, Clowney, Wagner, Honey Badger. Some good names in there. Super chat coming in here from Tristan Brown. Got to get rid of Tua if Miami misses the playoffs. The excuses are over for Tua. If he's not the guy this year with a better offensive line, upgraded running backs, and an awesome receiving core as long as he's healthy, there are no more excuses. It's put up or bye-bye time for Tua in Miami. Of course, you're here because of the major news today. The Dolphins landed Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs are getting a late first, a second, 2 fourths, and a 6th. Now, I do want to recap here what the Jets' offer was. Here we go. That the Chiefs would have gotten 35, 38, and 69. The Jets, that is nice, thank you guys. The Jets would have gotten Hill and 103. So from the trade value chart perspective, the value is actually pretty similar. There were more picks, later round picks going to KC. Kind of seems like Hill was kind of the driving force as to where he wanted to go. Giving up a pick also kind of maybe hurt KC a little bit there, but pretty even from the trade value standpoint there. All right, again, here are the trade details. Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. Chiefs get a first, a second, 2 fourths, and a sixth. I owe some beer cheers here. Also, I would love some water if someone gets a chance here. Mailbag's coming up, by the way. There are 2 ways to get on the show. Number 1, use hashtag NFL. Or you guys can super chat. Let me know in the comment section what questions you got. By the way, it does sound like Hill and his no trade clause was the big reason why Miami won the trade as opposed to the New York Jets. So that was you give those big players no trade clauses, all of a sudden you don't get nearly what you might think they were going to get back. So not an elite return, I don't think, for Tyreek Hill, but still pretty decently in the end. So again, get your questions in, hashtag NFL or super chat if you want to get on today's show. You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. That's where we're at, live on YouTube. And if you want to join us, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. From Rocky Owens, what's your grade on Dallas as a team roster? I want to say C. I think, and you think they are at least a lock in the playoffs. So there's no such thing as a lock to make the postseason. C feels low. They won 12 games last year. Did they get a lot better? No. But I think this team is still at least a B in terms of roster. Like, C feels like maybe more of a Vikings roster-ish. Maybe Vikings is a bit better than a C. I don't know. Saints-ish to C? Like, Cowboys I think should be a B. All right, Evan Hinders. Niners sign Kyle Rudolph or T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, I don't think Hilton's market's going to be very good. I don't mind that idea at all. Rudolph, if you want to back up aging, not great tight end anymore, sure. If those guys are cheap, I'm never going to complain, but I don't think it's like huge, like, oh yeah, we got these guys pickups. Like, sure, but is what it is. Brantley Furr, are the Dolphins better next year? On paper, absolutely they are. You upgraded your offensive line. You've upgraded, your running back position, your wide receiver room for sure. You don't look at this roster and say, yeah, they're worse or the same. They are definitely better. Is the coaching the same? I thought Brian Flores was an awesome coach. Will the win-loss be the same? That's up for debate. Joker34, could the Saints sign Odell Beckham? Yeah, they could. I actually don't mind New Orleans as a destination for OBJ. I think it's one maybe we should have mentioned a bit more frequently. I think that'd be a good idea for the Saints to add OBJ. You pair him with Michael Thomas, and you feel a lot better just like that at your wide receiver room. Who has been the biggest free agency winner so far? Let me know in the comments section who you think has won free agency better than anybody. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Let me know right now in the comments. From Chase Jocelyn, not Chase Sr., Jr. Now that there are fewer options for Jimmy G, where will he land? I don't know. I think that's a unique situation. The Niners, I don't think, have played it great. The arm injury did not help it either. Look, I think that the Carolina Panthers is the team that makes the most sense. Saints pay Jameis Winston probably a bit too much for my blood. Carolina's got Sam Darnold, and he sucks. They need a QB. So Jimmy G makes a lot of sense for that team. It's just a matter of how you figure out the draft pick capital. It's not great for the Carolina. They're light because of the Sam Darnold trade. All right, Light Gaming. How many more wins does Tyreek Hill and Teron Armstead add to the Miami Dolphins? How many do you think you lose coaching-wise, if any? Probably no more than 2. That's 11 wins, right? In the end, it comes down to how well Tua plays. This team should be a playoff team and a double-digit, winner. But if Tua and this new offense struggle, well, then it doesn't add up. But talent-wise, it's a big upgrade for Miami. I love what they're doing. Now it's up to the QB to show that he is indeed the guy. All right, Riley Tyson, then I'm going to get to some more super chats here. What wide receiver should the Browns sign? I mean, you've got Amari Cooper. I think you feel pretty good about that option. Do you trust Anthony Schwartz, DPJ? Probably not. I think you're looking for a better slot option. You know, it makes a lot of sense. How about Cole Beasley? With the Cleveland Browns? Amari Cooper, I know you signed Jakeem Grant, whatever. Maybe you go for a vertical threat, but I think you're not going to spend big money at wide receiver if you're Cleveland. From Ed, thoughts on this? Trade Xavier Howard for a starting right tackle and then sign Stephon Gilmore. Here's my question. What starting right tackle are you going to be able to acquire? You know? Like, I'm looking through all the teams here. The Bills, they don't got extra guys. Nope. The Dolphins, of course. The Patriots don't have extra players. The Jets don't. The Ravens, I mean, Jawan James isn't a starting caliber guy for you at this point there. Steelers, the Bengals, the Texans, they just restructured Laramie Tunsil. I don't trust Titus Howard at right tackle, so cross them off the list. Jawan Taylor kind of sucks. Walker Little's not your guy. The Chiefs don't have anyone. The Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Giants, unless you believe in Matt Parrott, which you probably shouldn't do. Eagles, they don't want to play Andre Dillard on that side. They're not going to trade away Lane Johnson. That was one maybe that could have made sense. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks, Cardinals, Rams, Niners, Seahawks. They don't have right tackles that they're going to trade. So I think that if you're going to add a new right tackle, either give the job to Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, Jesse Davis, whatever, or draft somebody in the second or third round. Brantley Fur, should the Dolphins get more offensive line if they're able to get more free agents? I mean, I'm never going to say no to more O-line help for Miami. This feels like this is their last big splash because they're paying, of course, Tyreek Hill big money now as well. You've fixed the left side. Teron Armstead and Connor Williams, you're good there. Can you find three starters between Austin Jackson, Michael Dieter, Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, Liam Eichenberg, Jesse Davis? Maybe. I would, if you're going to make a move, I would love to figure out J.C. Treader. Like, that is the route I would go get if I could get him. So if you're going to sign somebody, Treader is the name I would keep an eye out for. NFL Daily is presented by Rumble. If you haven't already, go follow us at rumble.com/NFL Daily. We are posting on YouTube still. It's not going away. Don't worry. But we're also posting on Rumble as well. So join us at rumble.com/NFL Daily. All right, Garrett, could the Seahawks draft Malik Willis? I think they could. I'd kind of hate that, to be honest here. I wouldn't throw big money at, or a big draft pick, because they need offensive line help badly, and frankly, edge rusher still too, and cornerback help. They are not a Malik Willis away, and it's going to take a year or two or three for Malik Willis to actually get that figured out. So they could. I don't love that idea for Seattle, because you're kind of just like, you're not going to be good next year probably with Malik Willis or Drew Lock or whoever. Are you going to see enough from Malik in 1 year to not draft C.J. Stroud if you have that pick, or Bryce Young? Not the route I would go. We've got nonstop NFL coverage here for you all off season long. The link is below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. So if you haven't already, follow. We've got the best NFL, or subscribe, I should say, the best NFL coverage out there. youtube.com/chatsportstv. Brokov, should Miami go after Tyler Lockett? They don't need more receiver help. Also, Lockett's not getting traded. Like, I don't think that is going to happen for Seattle. The money doesn't really make any sense. Next year, it starts to make more sense there. Nathan Wagner, KC should send one of their firsts to Seattle for DK Metcalf. Metcalf, I still think, fits the timeline of a rebuild in Seattle, so I don't think they have to trade him away. But I wouldn't hate that. Like, if you could do it for KC, I would do it in an absolute heartbeat. But I'm also not naive enough to think that Seattle's just going to give away DK Metcalf. I don't think they should. If they're going to do it, okay, a first-round pick for KC does kind of start to make some sense there. From Shock Universe, who should the Patriots draft since they're not getting key free agents? You've taken care of your right tackle need, so you can cross that off the list with the re-signing of Trent Brown. Guard is now a big need for you since you foolishly dealt away Shaq Mason. Receiver, of course, is still a big-time need. And the biggest need of all, by the way, is corner. We think Terrence Mitchell is going to replace J.C. Jackson. I know I don't. Patriots fan Jack sure as hell does not either. So I'm looking at those spots in particular. Maybe linebacker with Donta Hightower, still a free agent as we sit here filming this right now. All right, who do you think is going to win this year's March Madness tournament? I got Gonzaga, and I want to come back to this question, by the way, later, because I want to update everybody on where the Chat Sports office stands right now. But let me know, who was your pick? I got Gonzaga. This is the year. Maybe I'll win my bracket, too. All Giants 24/7. Skip Bayless to the Giants trade for Baker Mayfield. Do you agree? Thanks. First off, thank you for being so nice for asking your question. No, I don't. You're going to take on Baker's contract, and then you've got Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones, and if you add all three of those guys, we got maybe one good NFL QB. I don't know if Baker fixes your QB issue. So if he gets cut and you sign him, sure. Adding the big contract and throwing money his way and a draft pick the Giants way or the Browns way in theory? No, I don't think that's a very likely outcome here for the New York Giants. From MC Clips, if Miami has any more money left, what do you think about Moss at right tackle? So I am like 100% certain there is a typo here in some capacity because who the hell's Moss? Do you mean like, I'm trying to think like what you could type in to cause a chaos there. I honestly don't know who you're trying to go get. Do you mean like a Darrell Williams or a JC or Eric Fisher maybe? Or maybe you mean Bobby Massey. Maybe that's who you mean. So that name starts with an M. So I'm going to ask what like it's Bobby Massey. Sure. I think that they've got other young guys on the roster. They'll try to figure that out, I think, internally. Would be my guess. Alex Lancaster, Tom, what's your next move if you are Ryan Poles? I got to find an offense or a receiver that's better than Byron Pringle and EQ St. Brown. That's the route I would go. And maybe that's just via the draft. That's fine. The Bears are rebuilding this year, and next year they're going to be ultra aggressive. That's my expectation for Chicago. So it's not fun, but be patient. If you haven't already, hit me up on Twitter. I'm on there at WhatGoingDowney. If you have any questions we did not get to, hit me up at WhatGoingDowney. From Trizzy, the PFF said the Titans need more receiver help. What about Will Fuller or Jarvis Landry? Sure. I would wonder if draft is a route they go in round 2 or round 3. Or not, they don't have a round 2, so round 3 maybe. I like it. If you want Landry as your slot, cool. If you want to keep A.J. Brown in there, Will Fuller can be your defense. I like Fuller the best of those two guys. Speaking of the AFC South, who wins it this year? Let me know in the comments section. Type TEN for the Tennessee Titans. Type in HOU for the Houston Texans. IND for the Indianapolis Colts. And JAC for the Jacksonville Jags. Super chat time from Clint Beach. Do the Browns draft wide receiver or D-line in round 2? Depends on who's there. If there's an edge or if there's like a Travis Jones or a Drake Jackson you love, take that guy. If you want to wait till round 3, cool. I think that's a good route to go as well. So we'll wait and see. But the Browns, those are probably the two areas I think make the most sense for them. From Donnell, Tom, I was wishing Dallas signed Fletcher Cox on a cheap deal. Yeah, well, 1 year, 14 is not cheap, so that wasn't going to happen. Since that didn't happen, any chance we draft Jordan Davis from Georgia? He's not going to be there. He's not. He is not going to be on the board for you unless you trade up. So I would not expect Jordan Davis to be a draft pick for the Cowboys in round 1. All right, I want to check in on this here as we get ready to have Matthew Peterson come on for Broncos and Bears here in a little bit. Sip my beer. Who was your pick to win the March Madness tournament this year? We'll give some shout-outs here, but I want to update you guys on the Chat Sports race. Now, of course, we use just ESPN bracket because that's just the simplest, the easiest way for us to do it. So
I'm afraid.
Producer Jeff in my ear says he's scared. He's scared of the answer. I'm going to go in order here of what's going on. At the top, it is a tie between Jeremy Chuggs and Marshall Green, 97.3%. Now, I will make note that the max value favors Jeremy because Marshall picked Kentucky. So Marshall's tied for first, but he's not going to win. He's not. I don't remember who won it last year. No, it was Mott. Didn't Mott win or did you win it? You won it last year? There you go, Marshall. You're not going to win it this year. Jeremy picked Gonzaga. Marshall picked Kentucky. Jack has picked Arizona. He is tied for second with ya boy. But the points, if Arizona wins, Jack's going to win. He has the most potential points left on the table right now. He and I are tied for third. I've got Gonzaga. Newcomer Will Scott is fifth. He is in the, by the way, all four of us are in the 92nd percentile or better right now. Will Scott picked Kentucky. So he's fifth right now, but he is third to last with potential points. So Will's in fifth, 77.6 percentile. He's not going to win. We've got a big tie for sixth here with, I don't know who Matt Mack is. I honestly don't know who that is. I think someone snuck into our bracket somehow. Maybe it is. Tyler Jones, Brett Scott, and Chase Sr. are all in there at the 70.1 percentile. 3 of them picking Gonzaga, 1 of them going Texas Tech. Now, Tech wins, he wins. All right, just above average, James Yoder, the boss man, 52.8%. He's got Gonzaga and a good amount of the remaining points left. So he is actually in better shape than Tyler and Brett and Chase with the remaining points from that perspective. Whoever the winner is, which I think that's Mitch. I think that's Mitch's. I'm honestly not sure. He's got Gonzaga, but he's in the 44.5th percentile. So we are now below average here as we're going to start bodying people. Chase has Gonzaga, or Trace, excuse me, but he's in the 36.8 percentile. So keep the LOLs coming, by the way, folks. All right, Fade Mott season is all the way back. He is in the 36.8 percentile, but he picked Kentucky. His potential points left are 840, so he is looking really bad from that perspective. Apparently another Mitch one. I guess there's multiple Mitches here. Cheating, potentially. He's got Gonzaga, 30th percentile, but he has actually the fourth most points remaining. So other Mitch bracket is now cheating. Matthew Peterson, who will be on momentarily, also in the 30th percentile, which is brutal. He's got Gonzaga as well. A second Brett Scott bracket. Oh, no, sorry. That's Sam Brown. Sam Brown's bracket is complete ass, my dude. Is he out there? No. 19.3 percentile. He has 330 right now. His max is 490. His final four is out except for Gonzaga. His championship game is out as well. So absolutely disastrous bracket there for Sam Brown. And unfortunately, dead last, but he won't finish last. Harrison Graham, 15.4. So I've realized now we have not talked about Jeff's bracket. And what is your username, Jeff? Are you Matt Mack or are you the winner?
The winner.
You're the winner?
Yes.
Okay. Use your own name. My God, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry. I have that one in like 7 groups. It's failed. I know it's failed.
So you are in the 44.5 percentile, but you got Gonzaga. You're still alive, but it's a tough path for you to win. And Harry Brackets, Harrison Graham, is dead last, 15.4th percentile. So, LOL, there you guys go. Let's go back to our pin poll today before we get Matthew Peterson on here. Who won the Tyreek Hill trade? Dolphins or Chiefs? Let me know in the comment section here. MIA for the Miami Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs? Get some shout outs here. 73% going Dolphins. That is the correct answer, I would argue. So that's good stuff there. Sip my water here. All right. Dolphins 73, Chiefs 27. Not a huge surprise there. I see MIAs from Clement and Tareen Whitfield as well. So keep those votes coming. Who won the trade, Miami or Kansas City? We'll come back to some more questions here in a little bit. We've also got some other NFL news we want to hit here as well once I get the all clear there. Give some shout-outs. Clement, Miami. Tareen, Miami. Shamari Peoples, Miami. Caden, Miami. JS, Miami. Casey Harold saying Miami. Nick says, let's see how good Hill is without Mahomes. But there we go. So, head down there. Who's better, MIA for the Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs? Who won that trade? As we now welcome on Matthew Peterson here once again on NFL Daily. Petey, how you doing, my friend?
You know what? I'd be doing a lot better if I did not know where I stood in the bracket challenge because I hadn't looked because I knew I lost a Final Four team. So I felt like,
but most people lost Final Four teams.
Yeah, that's true. I had Tennessee going to the championship.
Oh, you idiot!
And so the reason why I went to Tennessee, so I even had Gonzaga beating my Vols because I didn't think they'd actually go that far. But I didn't want to look stupid if they did go on a run and I had them going out early. I didn't think they'd go out in the second round. So that really was a ball buster.
Right I think I had Tennessee getting bounced early, by the way.
Well, that really
my philosophy this year in the bracket was to pick against everybody's
You could be that villain here. Well, you know what? Yeah. I had Miami, Ohio not even making the tournament. So I'm looking pretty good from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do you think about the Tyreek Hill trade, Matthew?
I don't know what – I mean, Kansas City lost this deal. Let's get that across first because the nice tool I like to use when evaluating trades that involve a lot of picks is will any of these picks combine to be better than Tyreek Hill? It's hard to say right now, of course, but it's hard to envision someone doing what Tyreek Hill has done for Kansas City, right? I mean, you look at the postseason when the Chiefs came back and beat the Bills with 13 seconds left. And rewatching the film of that moments ago, a lot of the defensive coverages Buffalo put out was because Tyreek Hill was on the field. All right, if Tyreek Hill is not on the field, those safeties are not as deep, and Travis Kelce's not carving them up for that much yardage across the middle. I mean, that's what Hill does, right? We don't have to explain the importance Tyreek Hill has for this Kansas City Chiefs team. So for the Chiefs to lose him and to think they're going to find someone that's even half decent in the NFL draft is a bit mind-boggling. And the 29th overall pick, maybe you find a diamond in the rough because all the good wide receivers, and we know the draft is full of busts and late-round picks. I mean, a handful of players were picked ahead of DK Metcalf a couple of years ago, so crazy stuff happens in the NFL draft, but I'm not a believer that the Chiefs are going to find a nice replacement with the first and with the second-round pick they get from Miami. And as for Miami now, let's talk about them because they should be popping champagne. It's all in on Tua working. Right, I heard Tom talk about that earlier, and I want to echo and reiterate that. They've got a lot of great pieces coming over there, like Teron Armstead. How about Chase Edmonds in the backfield? A position the Dolphins have always been searching for quite some time now, ever since what's his face? The running back who did the Miami Miracle for against the Patriots. Went to the Raiders. I'm blanking on his name. Whatever. There's a lot of things that Miami needs to work on. And Kenyon Drake, that's what I was looking for, right? Kenyon Drake. And then guy of Patriots, Jack, Super Bowl running back who scored a couple touchdowns.
Brandon Bolden. That's who the Raiders added, if that's what you mean.
Not LeGarrette Blount, Ajayi. He was on the Dolphins too. right? So anyway, let's get back on track here.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. What I'm saying is Miami is missing a lot of pieces, and they got a lot of good pieces in free agency, like Armstead, like Chase Edmonds, and now they get Tyreek Hill paired with Jalen Waddle. This is going to be a very good Miami team. I just feel bad that it's at the wrong time. Look at how loaded the AFC is. If Tua is not a top 10 quarterback, it'll all be for nothing. Now, maybe Miami goes and drafts Bryce Young next year in the NFL draft, but he looks like he'll be a top 5 pick in. With how much talent this Dolphins team has, even if Tua sucks, I don't see them finishing that bad. Tom, let me bring you back in as we try to steer the ship back on course, but ultimately, Dolphins win this trade 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, the Chiefs, people are mad about the contract. Okay, I get it, but
who cares? It's
also
not your money.
He's good.
I mean,
and then the cap's going to skyrocket. So it was very surprising to me to see the Chiefs, who were going to pay Tyreek Hill $21 million, go, but we can't do 30.
Yeah,
it's $9 million. Backload the hell out of the deal.
I agree. And if you're the kind of person that gets mad at contracts, I understand it when it's for bad players. But good players getting super big contracts is fine. The cap's not real. You can always move money around. The cap is real when it's for a bad player, okay? When it's like Jimmy Graham getting a ton of money at the end of his career in Chicago. That's when you can go, I hate this contract. What are they thinking? But when it's for a proven player who's in his prime like Tyreek Hill, you don't care how much money you give him, okay? You'll figure it out later. You make it a multi-year contract and you spread the wealth around, but never punt on a player because of $9 million. Come on. That's blasphemy to me.
All right, so what do you guys think? Who won the trade? This is the pinned poll right now here on Chat Sports. So who won the trade? 74% going with the Dolphins. 26% going with the Kansas City Chiefs. So let me know in the comment section, MIA for the Miami Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments here who you guys got. I see Steven Handel's going with Miami. DeQuell's going with KC. Joe Wagner's going with Miami. Wantless 2K. Mr. Summer going KC. Alize Pin's going with Miami. Flo Notice going with Miami in there. Jay Lou's going with Miami. Funkbringer says stop hating on Jimmy G. I assume you mean Jimmy Graham, but Jimmy G is what he is at this point. I see MIAs from Anthony and Jim J and Jeremiah and Marino and Daryl Hawkins and Ethan. Not a KC from J-Dub. A couple fins up in there as well. Blad00. Chris Smith says KC. Let's get going here. J-Dub says KC. Brandon says Miami. Brandon says Miami. A lot of Miamis in there. Not too surprising there. So the game plan here, we're going to talk Browns now.
Yeah.
I'll be on, but it'll mostly be Matthew Peterson handling that front here. As soon as we're ready with that, we'll get going there. I see Funkbringer says Miami as well to answer this who on the trade stuff. ZNH said Miami. Caden Warrior said Miami. Bobby Francis says KC in there.
Tom, I was saying no state income tax. Always a fun debate. Do you believe that's a big factor in players' decisions?
I am always torn on. It is a big factor versus.
Is it? Like,
it's the NFL doesn't want to ever acknowledge it's a big factor. They're covering it up.
It's on the pros and cons sheet. I don't know how high up it is on that sheet though.
I think in the end it's like the tiebreaker.
Okay, really? Okay.
Kind of like age for draft picks ends up being the tiebreaker. But we're gonna start Browns. So, Matthew, I'll let you take lead on that here, but I'll still be on sure a little bit as well.
Yeah, we'll talk Baker Mayfield trade and maybe an Odell Beckham Jr. return. So, even if you're not a Browns fan, maybe your team will be potentially on the receiving end of a Browns trade. Plus, we've learned that the NFL is just a domino effect. As these moves happen, they impact almost every team, it feels like. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. Before we get into today's show all about Baker Mayfield trade destinations and packages, along with a possible return of OBJ, I want to put out a quick call here to everyone watching that wants to support the Browns Report here at Chat Sports. Help us catch the Kansas City Chiefs Report on Rumble, another awesome video platform service. Head on over to rumble.com/Browns Report. The Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill. Let's have them lose this battle too. Let's catch them up and let's beat them and let's race them to 1,000 followers on Rumble. Now we're going to look at Baker Mayfield trade destinations. I've got 4 places Baker could end up in 2022. And then we'll look at Odell Beckham Jr. possibly returning to Cleveland, a conversation I never thought we would have. But if we have learned anything this offseason, never say never. No one woke up this morning and thought Tyreek Hill was going to get traded. No one thought Watson would change his mind after saying the Browns were out, but here we are. So in order to really tackle the idea of trading Baker, I think we got to look at what's been unfolding the last couple of days, which is Baker for a second ain't going to happen. So I think it's going to require a handful of pieces on both ends. I think the Browns got to sweeten the pot a little bit by tossing some of their own skin in the game, and maybe it goes for players instead of day 2 picks like a second or a third. Before I look at some possible trade destinations and some mock trades, I want you guys to weigh in on this. Where will Baker play in 2022? Let me know in the comment section below where you think Baker is going to end up playing. Seattle's a good guess. We'll look at all of the options I've got outlined on today's show. Let's start with the Seattle Seahawks, who traded away Russell Wilson. They need a quarterback. I don't know how confident they are in Drew Lock when the previous regime pretty much benched him going into his 3rd season. So for Seattle, you got to wonder, I don't think the Seahawks are just going to give up a 2nd-round pick like I said for Baker. So could the Browns and Seahawks make another blockbuster move? Could you get DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett for Baker Mayfield and some picks, right? I'm done looking at Baker for 1 pick. I'm now looking at Baker plus some of our own picks for some of your picks and some of your players, and let's really get things messy and hairy. So here's the mock trade I cooked up. The Browns get DK Metcalf and a 6th-round pick, and the Seahawks get Baker Mayfield, Anthony Schwartz, a 3rd-round pick from last season, and a 2022 third. I don't know if Seattle really wants to do this because you really want to move on from Metcalf and Russell Wilson in one offseason. But if they don't want to run with Drew Lock and maybe want to find what the Browns gave up on in Baker Mayfield, get a young wide receiver, a speedy one in Anthony Schwartz, and you pick up a day 2 pick. Listen, if Schneider got talked into trading Russell Wilson for just 2 firsts, maybe you could talk him into this as well. But now I want you guys to, make up your own trade. It's like the ESPN trade machine. Make up your own trade with the Seattle Seahawks because it sounds like the Seahawks are the front runner for a possible Baker Mayfield trade. Next team to look at here, the Detroit Lions. They are still on the hook with Jared Goff, but Dan Campbell strikes me as a coach who doesn't want to wait around. He doesn't want to be told, hey, you're a plane in the air. We've got no room to land. Just circle around and be in a holding pattern, and we'll wait to draft a QB or find a real QB next season. The reason why they can't really move on from Jared Goff, though, he is expensive. He's got a $31 million cap hit this season and a $41.1 million dead cap hit, which means if they were to just cut him outright or trade him, they're still on the hook for that. Now, you could maybe move some money around in the trade and the Browns take on a lot of that cap, but I think Jared Goff is staying put in Detroit. However, if Dan Campbell can get in the ear of the GM in Detroit and go, get me Baker, I think he's the real deal. He's the guy who will bite kneecaps with me. How about this trade? How about the Browns get a wide receiver to pair up with Amari Cooper and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they get a 3rd-round pick, and in return, the Lions get Baker and a 6th. If I'm Cleveland, I'd do this in a heartbeat because at least you get Baker off your, off your books as soon as possible. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, not a bad target. In fact, in his last 6 games in 2021, went off for over 550 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was a guy that if you picked him up at the end of your fantasy football season, you were very happy to have him in the postseason. He was a deep sleeper that blossomed at the end of the season, and he could be a rising name in Detroit. How about we get him over to Cleveland? Speaking of Cleveland, we have crossed 6,000 subscribers, so appreciate all of you that have already subscribed. But for anyone watching that has not subscribed, if you don't want free Browns news and rumors, then subscribe for this reason. Subscribe because you can't stand the Steelers. You hate Pittsburgh so much that you not only want to beat them on the field, like we did a couple seasons ago in Pittsburgh in the postseason. But help me beat the Steelers channel here at Chat Sports because I sit next to the Steelers guy, Jeremy, and I'm tired of him reminding me how the Steelers have more subs than the Browns. Also, speaking of Baker Mayfield, let's get back on track with him and what his future looks like in Cleveland. Do you think the Browns will trade or cut him? If they can't find a trade partner, I don't know if they want to have him on the roster and just sit out pretty much, right? A lame duck QB who is almost like Deshaun Watson last season in Houston. It'd be pretty funny if Mayfield played the games if Watson is suspended. That would be an ultimate spin zone that no one could see coming. But let me know, T for trade or C for cut. Another possible destination, and now we get in the weeds a little bit. How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I know it sounds crazy, and I think it is crazy. But last night I saw Dan Orlovsky tweet this out. The Buccaneers should trade for Baker Mayfield. And I guess the thought process behind a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that's trying to win a Super Bowl, trading for a QB like Baker Mayfield when they have Tom Brady is maybe they don't like Kyle Trask. And maybe they want to let Baker sit behind Tom Brady because they don't think Tom Brady is going to be there for much longer after the season. And they're like, you know what? It's hard to find a QB, so how about we get Baker Mayfield, let him sit behind Tom Brady, let him learn from the greatest of all time, and when Brady is done after this season or next season, we've got a QB in the wing ready to take over and be the next QB in Tampa Bay. That's probably my only thought as for why Tampa Bay would do this. Now, the other thing is, unlike the other two teams, the Bucs are trying to win a Super Bowl right now. So I don't think they are in a spot to trade for a player like him. But if a trade were to happen, I think it could look maybe like Baker for a 6th-round pick, and the Browns get a 2nd. I think that could be a possible trade for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. I think that's just a rough idea because it would be a future 2nd, by the way, just because Tampa Bay wants to win right now. So why are they going to trade away immediate draft capital to help them win right now? That just doesn't seem to align with what Tampa Bay's trying to do. So make it a future pick, right? Set it off in 2023. Don't have to think about it right now. Get out of sight, get out of mind. Final destination. Not a trade destination, but the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is tough to say because I don't want to see Pittsburgh come back and haunt the Browns for moving out from Baker Mayfield and having him be the next Big Ben Roethlisberger that comes into Cleveland and wins every time. But Mary Kay was on the Orange and Brown report talking about this in her podcast. And here's what she said. The Steelers will pounce on Baker Mayfield if he becomes available. Now, maybe Mary Kay got a little bit because I don't know if the Browns are going to release him anytime soon. In fact, I think, if anything, if they don't get a trade in the next week or two, then they'll wait for training camp and see if a team has an injured quarterback and wants an immediate starter like Baker. But could you stand Baker on the Steelers? If you were someone who was so out on Baker this offseason, you couldn't wait for a trade to happen, it should be no issue. It shouldn't be a problem seeing him on the Steelers, right? You said he sucked. But if you're someone who's just even slightly paranoid about Baker for the revenge games twice this season against Cleveland, I think you're in the end for no camp. This would be the most Browns thing ever, by the way, if he went to the Steelers and then proceeded to torment the Browns, his former team, and Mike Tomlin somehow makes him a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? That would be the most Cleveland Browns thing ever. A little bit like Joe Hayden, but like Joe Hayden light/diet, going to Pittsburgh and finding out, you know what, Cleveland? I'm actually not done. You probably should have gave me the bag like Pittsburgh did. Next up on the show, could it be a possible Odell Beckham Jr. return in the cards? This is a weird thought, but with no Baker Mayfield there anymore, maybe that's possible, right? Maybe this is something that could be in the fold for Cleveland. I don't see it really happening. I think if I had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, it'd be pretty low. 2 out of 10, right? That would be where I would stab at it. But he was asked about it, and he had some interesting responses on Twitter. But first, I want to look at this Joseph Salvador article from Sports Illustrated, who said a source told Cleveland.com that Beckham is open to the possibility because he loved his teammates and Browns fans and only left when things reached the point of no return with Baker Mayfield. But with no Baker Mayfield there now, OBJ could be coming back because the Cleveland Browns fans, well, half of them will say, but absolutely his teammates loved Odell Beckham Jr. However, I don't think he's signing anytime soon. Remember when OBJ tore his ACL in Week 7 of 2020 and then didn't return until Week 4 of 2021, an 11th month recovery? If it's 11 or even 10 months this time after tearing his ACL in February in the second week of 2022, then I'm guessing that's not going to be him. That's not going to have him return until November at the earliest, probably into December. I think that's more of a likely timeline for Odell Beckham Jr. returning to the field. And if that's the case, if I'm OBJ, why not do what you did last year, right? Why not just wait and see which team is a front runner to win a Super Bowl and then go there? But we know OBJ turned his career around after leaving Cleveland. You look at what he did with the Browns to start the 2021 season and the way he ended the regular season in LA. 5 touchdowns with Matthew Stafford, 0 with Baker Mayfield. More yards, more everything, more games granted, but there was no question that OBJ was able to prove that he is not done and that the last couple of years in Cleveland is not a good sign, is not an accurate reflection of who he is as a player today. So Odell Beckham Jr. trying to get his career back on track after, let's call it, a speed bump or a hiccup in Cleveland. One more time, if you have not subscribed and you've reached this far in the video, well, I think we're doing something right. So appreciate anyone that's watched this far and also appreciate all of you guys that have subscribed. And we're hoping you can help us reach 7,000 subscribers, trying to get to 10K by week 1. That's kind of the big goal right now. So make sure you are subscribed at youtube.com/Browns Report. Hit that big red button and join the channel today. Tom, welcome you back on here at NFL Daily. Will the Browns trade Baker, or do you think they're just going to have to outright cut him because no one will even offer them a bag of footballs for the guy?
I think a trade offers are a little heavy in favor of what the Browns could get back. I don't think the value's
You don't
good
think
right
I was
now.
being a tiny bit of a homer there?
I think it was. I think that the value for Baker, with the way the quarterback market kind of went quickly, has really impacted them in a negative standpoint.
Yeah. You still got Garoppolo, too. And I wonder if teams will go, before I trade for Baker, I'd rather get Garoppolo. So maybe that domino needs to fall first.
The problem here is a cut doesn't help the Browns at all. Doesn't save them any real money. So
the $18 million dead cap hit.
Now, I don't know if there's any offset language in that contract. Number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it. So I would say they trade him eventually, but I think they might eat something, which maybe they do to get a better pick back in general.
Yeah, kind of like a Brock Osweiler trade when the Texans and the Browns made that same trade.
Not
almost.
as bad as the Brock Osweiler trade, but I think it could be a problem there.
I think it's going to be like a Brock Osweiler light, and that's why I have moved on from Baker for a third. Now it is Baker and a pick to help get a better pick back, to help it not just be Baker for a 7th, but it's not even like a team, like, for example, your Dallas Cowboys. They wouldn't even want Baker as the backup because it costs $18 million.
The contract is
exactly.
way
That's
too much,
the issue. Is even every team that would want Baker just as a backup for one season to help, in case their star QB goes down for 6 weeks, you can't pay a backup $18 million. And the Browns aren't going to eat half of that just to only get a 7th in return. Cleveland, I don't know what they're going to do. They are probably calling everyone, maybe even calling the CFL. Maybe they're trying to explore an international trade. I mean, at this point, you can't rule it out.
All right, so let's hit the news of the day. The Tyreek Hill shocking trade development. The Chiefs get back a first, a second, 2 fourths, and a 6th. It's a first, second, fourth this year, a 4th and a 6th next year. The Dolphins get one of the most dynamic wide receivers as the highest paid wide receiver now in the NFL. So I ask you again, Petey, for some more thoughts on this one.
Yeah, and I'm just shocked that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't want to pay him. I guess maybe Brett Veach, the GM in KC, said, you know what? I like this draft class a lot. I think I can get my next Tyreek Hill and only pay him rookie numbers or, rookie deal stuff. And I don't want to be on the hook for that big contract. But you got a great thing going between Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't really see why Kansas City decided we just can't pay you this much. We'd rather get draft compensation for you. I guess that's the train of thought. I wonder if there's more to this, right? You remember that story that came out a little while ago, Tom, of Reed, Mahomes, and Bieniemy faking it, and there was some serious trouble in paradise. Are we going to learn in a couple weeks or even later than that there was an absolute storm in Kansas City, and it was all covered up because of the wins and the greatness from Patrick Mahomes? I wonder if we're going down that train.
I don't know if they're going to go that far. That'd be concerning. Look, the offense has to change, though.
Yeah.
You can't run the exact same offense and expect, hey, it's going to be just as good as what it was in the past. So we'll see what happens on that front. The pin poll, by the way, has 73% going in favor of the Miami Dolphins right now, 27% in favor of the Chiefs, which I'm actually a bit surprised it's that high in the Chiefs side.
I would figure it'd be 90-10, and probably just Brett Veach telling all his family members to come on the live stream and vote Chiefs to help the public morale a little bit out. But it is pretty mind-boggling, and the fact that we continue to get more blockbuster moves. I mean, Tom, what's the next trade? Right? Well, I don't think we're done. It's only going to get crazier, it feels like. By far the craziest offseason
Maybe we
ever.
are done with the big-time trades. Who's
left?
Like, I'm not counting Baker or Jimmy G
No, I would not either.
As that big-time trade. I kind of feel like that's what it is there. So,
But we didn't see Hill getting traded.
No, that came out of nowhere. And that was an hour-long drama of, it's going to get traded, okay, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of crazy.
That was unbelievable. At this point, you're just kind of, trying to find something in the dark of a random player who's unhappy. Maybe DK Metcalf.
It's a good name there.
Yeah.
Let's hit some of the recent moves, by the way. Austin Reiter is signing with the Kansas City Chiefs as
Biggest news of the day?
the Chiefs, the biggest Chiefs news of the day. Yeah,
Biggest story out of Kansas City, Austin coming back.
Yeah, I mean that's your backup center, maybe some guard options there behind Creed Humphrey, so it's fine on that front there. Seahawks news, by the way, Justin Coleman has signed a 1 year. I thought I might have seen 4, but I don't think the exact details are known at this point. That's a potential nickel option. So I wonder now what happens with Ugo Amadi and Marquise Blair, because Coleman's going to play the nickel for them. So that's interesting for Seattle. Quite intrigued there. Rashawn Melvin, as the Lions are running it back, Petey.
Yeah, and Detroit, like I said earlier, they're in an interesting spot because they kind of remind me of Brian Flores' first year in Detroit, where it got really ugly to start, but you went into the offseason thinking, we've got our coach. Now we just got to get the personnel. And maybe that's what the Lions are figuring with some of these lesser, cheaper options for a year until they can get out of Jared Goff's salary cap hell he's put on them and get their true quarterback of the future in the 2023 draft.
Dante Johnson is back with the San Francisco 49ers as they're trying to re-sign some of their cheaper options there along the defensive line.
Yeah, and San Francisco lost K'Wan Williams, a nice slot corner, a nice nickel piece, to the Denver Broncos yesterday. And a good way to measure how a signing went is ask the team that lost the player how they feel. If they're upset, it's a good move for the other team. That's kind of the best way. With some of these guys that aren't household names, you go to the fan base, you go to the horse's mouth and go, you're going to miss them? The answer is yes. Probably a good move by your side.
Yeah, I think corner, they added to, I should say, Travarius Swartz. I think that certainly helps that cornerback room, but a lot of key losses here for San Francisco. The Commanders adding some defensive line help here in Ife Obade. I think that's how I pronounced that one there.
I'm not going to correct
formerly
you.
Buffalo Bills. Interesting fit for that defense. I wonder if we'll kind of do some DT, D-end hybrid there. The Giants also adding a player, Justin Ellis, the former Baltimore Ravens veteran defensive lineman. He's going to come in and help them along the defensive line for some defensive interior help there.
Yeah, and the Giants lost Austin Johnson to free agency, so a nice veteran replacement right there for the G-men.
Dave Gettleman back in charge? People are talking. I kid, of course, there. All right, next up, who won the trade? Miami for the Dolphins, KC for the Chiefs. Who do you think won? You think it's Miami?
I think it's Miami, and then 50 feet of crap, and then Miami again.
Wow.
I mean, I don't understand. Tom, let me ask this question. Chiefs at 29, who are they drafting now? Which wide receiver do you think will be there that can help what the Kansas City Chiefs have done on offense lately?
Can Jamison Williams be on the board?
That's what I thought. I mean, he is.
Because I don't know if he's there. Because the Packers might take 2 receivers too.
Yeah, Green Bay all of a sudden is looking like they're going to try to draft a replacement for Davante Adams. Both these teams, I think, sort of, I wouldn't say talked themselves into this, but looked at the wide receiver board this year and thought, if there's any time to do a trade like this, it would be this year because of the talent at that spot. So, especially, I mean, there are guys in the second round who I think could go in the first round of other drafts. Jahan Dotson, for example, went to Penn State, and we know Penn State wide receivers tend to get overlooked because of the poor QB play, like Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson. They emerged in the NFL because they had quarterbacks like Clifford throwing to them in college. No offense to him, but offense intended. So I think for the Kansas City Chiefs, that's got to be half of the reason they talked themselves into doing this over just extending him was we liked Jamison Williams so much. If we can get him and only pay him a rookie contract for a couple seasons, that would be pretty ideal compared to giving Tyreek Hill all that guaranteed money.
All right, so we're going to talk more about the AFC West here with some Broncos perspective. So, Petey, take it away.
Welcome into the Broncos breakdown here by Chat Sports. We're going to talk about the AFC West after the Tyreek Hill trade and then Davante Adams just a couple days ago. This division is on full-blown crack cocaine, methamphetamine. It is unbelievable how this division has changed since the end of the 2021 season. Now, as for who is going to win the division, I think it's still the Chiefs because you have a guy named Patrick Mahomes who has won 6 straight, a division record, looking for 7. But who's to say? We're going to find out what the Chiefs are maybe not made of without Tyreek Hill there. I don't expect, Patrick Mahomes to just fall off a cliff. But if you think he is the same QB without Tyreek Hill, I've got some bad news for you. So with the AFC in mind here, let's ask this question early on. Who's the favorite now, right? Who's going to win it, you think? If you think it's the Chiefs, give me their initials. The Chargers, they got Khalil Mack from the Bears. The Broncos, of course, with Russell Wilson. Or maybe you want to talk yourself into the Raiders with Derek Carr and Davante Adams bringing some of that Fresno State energy to the Sin City. I'll be a homer, and I'll go with the Denver Broncos because they have the most complete roster, I would say. And you look at Russell Wilson and the weapons he has now as opposed to Mahomes not having Tyreek Hill. I mean, Russell Wilson was throwing with his boys yesterday. Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, Al and some other guys as well. And it looked pretty fun on his IG story. They're building a nice defense with Randy Gregory, hoping to get a good 2019 or 2018 season out of Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain on that back end of the DB spot. The Broncos seem like they are the most complete roster, at least in this division. Let's revisit all the trades within the division that has really just completely changed the landscape of the West. The Dolphins get Tyreek Hill from Kansas City, so now the Chiefs look to slightly retool on offense. Maybe go draft a new wide receiver, have him for Travis Kelce's last couple seasons. And then Davante Adams goes from Green Bay to the Las Vegas Raiders. And all of a sudden, Derek Carr gets a top guy to really work with. Not that he hasn't had good receivers, but he hasn't had anyone that could touch Davante Adams. And then Khalil Mack goes on over to the Chargers to pair up with Bosa and what they've got going on their defensive side of things. And, of course, Justin Herbert, one of the most ascending quarterbacks in the NFL, although I think he gets a little overhyped personally. I see him way too often in top 5 language. I don't think he's quite there yet. And then best for last, the Broncos getting Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks. Giving up more than any other team did of all the other trades pretty much, but a trade they had to make because of all the talent they had on their roster that was probably going to go to waste with another incompetent play from a quarterback in what would be 6 straight seasons, something like that, since Peyton Manning retired. So at the end of the day, I think it's a great move by all teams except for the Chiefs, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But make sure you're subscribed to the Broncos Breakdown because when trades like this happens, we get on the case. We're breaking it down for you. We're looking at the whole AFC West, not just honing in on Denver, but seeing how these moves relate to the Broncos. Because in the NFL now, you play 17 games. 6 of those games are against your division rivals. So you have to know your enemy to keep up with them. With those trades in mind, though, which AFC West team had the best trade? Is it going to be the Broncos, Raiders, or the Chargers? I think the Chargers is probably third to last. The Chiefs is last. They gave up Tyreek Hill. But I think Broncos is number one. I go Broncos 1, and then I go Raiders. Those are my top 2 teams right there. But let me know in the comment section which AFC West team had the best trade. Like I said, Broncos number 1, Raiders number 2. I'll go Chargers 3 and Chiefs 4. Now, let's not forget the Chiefs did get Tyreek Hill later in the draft. I think it was a day 3 pick. Now, he had some, skeletons in his closet, to say the least, during his time in college. So that was a big reason why he did slip in the draft process. But maybe Kansas City falls in love with the wide receiver. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? It's Tyreek Hill all over again. Here we go. For me, I think the AFC playoff race starts week 1. And what I mean by that, there's no time to mess around in the AFC this year. Every team has improved, it looks like. They're taking all the goods from the NFC and putting it in the AFC. So there's no room to get off to an 0-2 stumble and catch up down the stretch. The race for the playoffs is going to be, from the start, a full-blown sprint. I don't see a team, for example, in the NFC last season, like the Eagles, who got hot. What did they win? 6 out of their last 7 or 6 out of their last 8 to make that 7th spot in the wild card race? I don't see that happening this year. If you stumble and you trip out of the gates, you might as well be done. With 4 teams in the AFC West, how many do you think will make the playoffs? Minimum 2, I think. Let me know how many you think in the comment section. Could be more. In fact, if they had it their way, the players, I think it'd be all 4 teams, right? Derek Carr made the playoffs last season with the Raiders, and having their roster only got better this offseason. And they may not make the playoffs despite improving in the offseason. How often do you see that happen? A playoff team get better, but they didn't get better enough. Everyone else passed them. They were jogging, and everyone else was sprinting. And that's how good this AFC West is looking like right now. Let's hit some of these trades one more time. A lot of compensation going to Kansas City. A late first, a second, a couple fourths, and some couple day 3 picks right there. I don't think it's enough, honestly. You couldn't ask for much more, but I just don't think a 29th overall pick in the first round is good enough, right? When you're talking first round picks, you got to go a little deeper than that. Where in the first round? Top 10? Or is it towards the end of the first round where the top 3 receivers have already been picked at this point? And as for Davante Adams, this one feels a little more in the ballpark because at least you get an earlier first round pick and an earlier second round pick as opposed to the Dolphins. So I like the Raiders trade a lot better, at least if you're like the Packers compensation-wise compared to what the Chiefs got. Now the Khalil Mack trade. He teams up with Bosa in L.A. I thought the Bears kind of got fleeced in this trade. I think the Chargers only giving up basically a second and a 2023 6. Like, that's so far out of sight, it's not even real, it feels like. So for L.A. to get a star pass rusher, try and get the last bit of juice out of Khalil Mack and return him to the AFC West so he can play his old team twice, a good move in my opinion. And then lastly, but not least, the Broncos once again getting Russell Wilson for, I understand, a massive haul. 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 3 players, and a 5th round pick. But the Broncos needed a quarterback, and it wasn't going to come from Drew Lock, especially with Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, and all those other teams improving in the AFC. I didn't see anyone I liked in the draft all that much. And if Rodgers was going to stay in Green Bay, pull the trigger, make this deal happen. One more time. AFC West favorite. Denver, Kansas City. Every fan base could talk themselves into one of these teams. There's no doubt about it. In fact, you could have 4, you could have a Chiefs guy, Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers guy all walk into a bar and convince someone who has never heard of the NFL why their team is going to win the playoffs, why their team is the favorite in the West. One last time here, asking you guys to subscribe if you have not already, because the way it works at Chat Sports, it's a bit of a democracy, but whoever has the more subscribers gets more studio time. More studio time means live shows, more VODs, the coverage you want for your favorite team. So help us reach 7,000 subscribers. We've crossed 6,500, marching our way to 7K. So please subscribe if you have not already. Help us reach 7K by the end of the month, or even better, 10K before week 1. We welcome Tom Downey from NFL Daily back on, and let's talk about the AFC West because, Tom, it's the best division in football this year, is it not?
Yes, unquestionably.
So then with that in mind, do 3 teams make the playoffs?
I want to say 3. If this was the NFC, it might be 4. I'm going to stick with 3. The tricky part is you got 2 playoff contenders legit in the AFC South. I think Colts and Titans in that conversation.
Yeah.
AFC East, now you got to worry about the Dolphins plus the Patriots. AFC North, Ravens, Browns, and Bengals, right? So I want to say 3, but it's tricky.
We're going to have multiple 10-win teams miss the postseason.
I don't know about multiple because they're going to play each other.
I know, but I think
so. They're going to beat each other up. Is the issue there?
Yeah, it's just you go through the divisions and the Bills make it, and I want to believe the Dolphins or the Patriots make it. Mm-hmm. So that's one wild card spot. Then you go to the AFC North. You pick the division winner. We'll call it the Bengals again, and I think the Browns or the Ravens would make it, but they kind of looked like they had the fewest teeth, right, compared to what you got coming out of the West between. Let's say the Chiefs win it. I think the Broncos with Russell Wilson don't miss it. And then the Chargers and the Raiders are right there. And then finally in the AFC South, Colts are looking sneaky good. They really are. The way I look at the Colts is they had Phillip Rivers take them to the postseason. Matt Ryan's just a younger version of where Phillip Rivers was 2 seasons ago or a season ago. And they've got a lot of firepower with Jonathan Taylor and maybe they go out and draft. I saw George Pickens to Indianapolis. There's a lot of good pieces forming. Michael Pittman in Indianapolis. This Colts team is not going to be an easy out either.
All right, Super Chat just came in from Christian. Are the Dolphins done? I don't know how much more they're going to do here in terms of making moves in the open market. They do, of course, have some draft picks. But the big splash was in the past 24 hours, it's Ron Armstead and Tyreek Hill. That's pretty damned impressive.
And then, like you said, Tom, in terms of what they could give up for players, they just gave up a whole bunch of their assets. So I don't see another trade happening. Mm-hmm. If I'm Miami, I think you just take your smile and you wait till the second day of the draft, and then you try and find some more best player available, good, competition guys that can step in and compete for a spot in camp, even if it's not your biggest need. Because at this point, Miami, beef up the O-line a little bit more, but they got Williams and Armstead in free agency, so it's not like it's a glaring need. So I think Miami's got some just small little things to tighten and some T's to cross and some I's to dot.
All right, the big news of the day, which I'm sure most of you have already seen, but we'll recap it again. We know people come in and out all throughout the day. Tyreek Hill has been traded from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins. A rather shocking move here as KC gets a first, a second, and a fourth back this year, plus a fourth and a sixth next season. Tyreek Hill, meanwhile, goes to the Miami Dolphins. I don't remember if I asked you about this earlier, Petey, but we do know what the Jets' offer was. In the end, Tyreek Hill has a no-trade clause, so he picked Miami in the end. The Jets offered us 2 seconds and number 69 overall. Let's say nice.
Yeah. No, nice.
There you go. There we go. Come on. We're immature here, Petey.
I thought you were reading something.
No, and then the Jets would have gotten Hill and 103 back. Trade value-wise, they're pretty even, but I think the no-trade clause kind of limited what KC was going to be able to do there.
This has been the offseason of players waiving their no-trade clause. Tyreek Hill most recently, Russell Wilson to start, Deshaun Watson after that. Tom, was it you that asked this trivia question a while ago? I mean, how many no-trade clauses are out there for these players?
That was you or Jeff who asked it, I thought.
I don't remember, but there's some other smaller player. Was it Jimmy Graham, I think, with the Bears? But anyway, this has been a huge offseason of players that you never thought would move, aside from Deshaun Watson. But no one saw that when he got his contract extension in Houston. Not long later, on the road. Packing up their bags and moving. So this will be interesting to see if we get any more drama. You can't count it out at this point. The NFL has proven that this offseason was going to be an offseason of just taking all the attention away from everyone else who's in season and putting it on the NFL offseason.
All right, so who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins and KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. The numbers actually changed on our pin poll right now, live on YouTube here. 72% going Dolphins, 28% going Chiefs here, which I'm definitely going Dolphins. I know it's aggressive, it's a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. You traded your first 2 picks, okay. You got Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like, you should be a playoff team. If not, you got picks next year. You can go find a new QB as well.
And Tom, let me throw this at you. Mm-hmm. How do you sell yourself that the Chiefs come away winning this deal?
Cap space, and you can go do other stuff, and you got extra draft picks. I just would have paid him $30. Like, I know $30 million is a lot. I know that is a sticker shock number here.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. Like, the cap's gonna jump. You backload the deal. You're not gonna pay him that much. I would have done that, man. Like, I just would have paid him, because what are the odds you find a Tyreek Hill type player?
Exactly.
Basically non-existent. Oh, you found him with a 5th round pick. Yeah. Good luck finding the next Tom Brady too. Like, that's not how things work.
Right. And
so,
as for the $35 million price tag, the cap goes up. It's at $208 million right now. Next offseason could be closer to $220. So $35 million may sound big, but you can't have like a brain of 2017 big. The cap's going to continue to go up, and so with that in mind, so are the price tags. And that doesn't mean that these payers these contracts are way too big. No, look at the percentage of the cap. I think that's a better reflection. Sure, it's going to be a little bit bigger, but it's not like it jumps from 15% to 25%. Good players, you want to pay them, so they stay. And I don't know why Kansas City didn't do that.
Of course, it wasn't the only big receiver trade we've had in the last week or so. There was also the Davante Adams, which isn't that different here in terms of the trade value. Like, it's a first and a second. It's an earlier first, an earlier second as well.
Yeah.
And then, but you're also getting extra picks back if you're KC. So it's a little bit more value overall for Tyreek Hill, but not a massively different
Tom, I know
value.
There's a trade calculator, but you jump 7 spots.
Yeah.
I'd rather have those 7 spots than
if you want to ramble,
the 5th and the 6th.
If you want to ramble, I can get you the exact trade value difference here.
Yeah. Producer Jeff, could we go back
math
to the Chiefs trade graphic? Because they improved. Like the Packers got a better first and a better second than what the Kansas City Chiefs got. The Chiefs, right, you'd rather have the earlier first, earlier second. So are those earlier picks, worth not getting a fourth, and a 6th?
We're crunching the math. Stand by.
Tom's on it. I'm going to go out and say, I don't care what the computer says. Yes, for me. I'd rather have an earlier first than a 6th. I'd rather have an earlier first and earlier second
The second's earlier, though, from Miami.
I thought that, okay, it's
because they finished higher in the season, but that their first was originally from San Francisco.
I thought it was a 53rd and a 55. Am I about to be fake news?
50. I don't know where you're getting. 53rd is the Packers pick.
Right, so 53rd for the Packers,
yeah.
And I thought the Chiefs are getting the 55th.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let me know.
I'm gonna double check, but
yeah.
I don't think that's right.
That was the number that was in my head. So maybe I'm gonna walk this all back. But 7 picks up in the first round.
Yeah, it's 50.
Okay, 50.
They got 50.
Okay, well, I knew it was 50. So
one of their fourths
and one of the 2 digits. So maybe just kind of balance. Maybe I'm gonna go spin zone this.
It is, yeah. I mean, you're getting the extra 4th and 6th, so call it actually pretty even in the end.
And I guess
maybe slight edge too in terms of the overall trade package back. Slight edge to KC, but not a lot.
So, which team between the Dolphins and the Raiders do you think comes out happier?
I think both teams are happy. If you mean like I think both are fired up. Like Miami got Tyreek Hill, the Raiders got Davante Adams. If you're ranking the receivers, they're 1-2 probably in some order.
If you're Miami, would you rather have done this deal for Hill or done this deal for Davante Adams?
I think I would have rather done the Davante trade, just because
you have less capital.
I get the slightly less capital, but like Hill's I think younger. You paid him a little bit more, so either way, I think the Dolphins and Raiders should be really happy.
And it does feel like great fits because you get Davante Adams back with Derek Carr, buddies from their days at Fresno State in 2014. And then Tyreek Hill, I don't know why, but he just fits Miami, it feels like, with Tua, fast pace, that kind of mantra. But with Mike McDaniel there, it will be interesting to see how he schemes things up. We know he loves to have exotic run packages. Is Tyreek Hill going to be like Deebo Samuel in Miami? Are we going to see Hill line up more? And he did it in Kansas City. But we're going to see him line up more in the backfield and do some more sweeps and stuff like that.
I think that's a great way to use him.
We about to have 2 Deebo Samuels in this league where he's just a gadget, but he does everything unbelievably well. He's going to be better than your running back, and he's your best wide receiver too. So why not? It's almost like it's high school where your best player is not only your quarterback, but he also could be your best running back, your wide receiver, your linebacker. I mean, half of NFL players were quarterbacks in high school because they put their best player at the most important position.
The Bears also gave up Khalil Mack, which I love for the Chargers. Like we've mentioned all these AFC West teams.
Yeah.
I love what LA's doing. Like all 4 of these teams, KC, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, those should be playoff teams, but not all 4 are going to get in.
I think the Chargers just need to get past the fact that they are the LA Chargers. I mean, it wasn't too long ago they had the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense in football and somehow missed the postseason. Like, that's just the Chargers. They invent new ways to lose in the last 30 seconds week after week. And they went full Charger mode when it came to week 18 against the Raiders when they called that timeout, and all of a sudden Rich Pisacki is sitting over there going, I guess we should go for it a little bit more and try to win this game instead of go for the tie. So LA just got to find a way to get out of their own way because they've got plenty of talent. They brought back Mike Williams. They've got Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton, I still think is on the market. I liked him. I thought he was a good wide receiver 3-4. So their defense with Derwin James, Mack, Bosa, sure up some other spots, but no team's perfect. It just feels like the Chargers are at a bad time to put together a great roster because of what the Broncos and what the Raiders did this offseason.
If it weren't for the Broncos getting Russell Wilson, we'd be viewing them as the worst team by a wide margin in the AFC West, too.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine Drew Lock playing these 3 teams 6 times? They go 0-6.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done lately. I mean, they haven't beaten the Chiefs the last 13 times. They got swept by the Raiders last year, including the week after Gruden got fired at home with all the distractions. You still lose to them. They went 1-1 against the Chargers. Nice win at home, I guess, but it could have gotten ugly. But luckily, Russell Wilson, the superhero, comes in and saves the day in Mile High.
Super chat from Michael Helton says Tom and Steven didn't want to pay Amari $20 or $20 million a year. You mean?
Yeah, how about the Browns?
First off, if you mean me, Tom, no, I wanted to. I would have restructured his deal and paid him like $6 this year, but they didn't want to. It did in the end come down to the money. Steven did not want to pay him $20. And the Cowboys could have paid him like $17 if they had just been proactive with their contracts, but they never, ever are, and they always end up losing here in the end.
One trade we didn't get to, just quickly on Amari Cooper. Browns get him for a 5th. Look at what else gave up.
And a 6th swap.
Yeah, oh, God forbid. Yeah, sorry. Can't forget the 6th swap. They moved back like 20 spots.
All right, coming up here in a minute, we're going to break down the new draft order in light of the Tyreek Hill trade, so stick around for that coming up right now. This is NFL Daily, presented today by Manscaped. I am Tom Downey. That is Matthew Peterson. We're going to break down the new first-round NFL draft order in light of the Tyreek Hill trade and the Davante Adams and the chaos that's gone down here only in March. We got a month till the draft here. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all their great men's grooming products when you go to manscaped.com/chat and you use promo code chat. So, Petey, I'm going to let you take over hosting duties here, being with that number 1 overall pick.
And with the number 1 overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to pick
Aiden Hutchinson.
Hopefully, I was going to say the opposite, help Trevor Lawrence out, but they did bring back some help on the O-line, so I think Hutchinson would make sense. And then maybe the Detroit Lions go out and get another tackle. If not, they get Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I think the Lions wait to see who the Jags pick and then go the other direction.
I don't think they're taking tackle. I would be shook if the Lions went offensive line because they just took one. They've got Taylor Decker.
They got Decker. You're right.
I wonder if safety, they would love Hutchinson. Hamilton. There's just a little bit of buzz, which I'm not sure I buy on them potentially going after a quarterback in Malik Willis at 2 as well.
Texans are also a bit of a wild card. Not really sure what direction they go. I think they have to wait and see what happens in front of them in order for them to make their pick. The Jets come in at number 4. So the top bit has stayed intact, but once we get a little further down the line, things get rather chaotic. So with that in mind, help Tom and I settle this debate. Who will be the number 1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? Aiden Hutchinson, Ikuanu, the NC State tackle, a lot of good offensive linemen out there, but Hutchinson would maybe Kayvon Thibodeau, has a great pro day and gets himself back in the mix a little bit. Who will be the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft? I can tell you when the Giants make their pick, our Giants channel here at Chat Sports is going to have a VOD out to you guys, video as soon as possible. So Giants come in at number 5. Again, now we're really at the point where they have to wait and see how things ahead of them shake out. But a tackle, maybe a wide receiver after losing Sterling Shepard?
And we'll come back and break down all these teams. Don't worry. Stick around, guys. Giants, I think tackle would be ideal. Maybe edge and corner areas to watch as well.
Panthers at 6. They're going to be hard to predict. Hard to say right now, but they are unlikely to stick with Sam Darnold. And then at number 7, we go back to the Giants. They get that pick from the Chicago Bears after the Justin Fields trade last season. At 8, the Atlanta Falcons, who are going to roll with Mariota. We'll find out. 9, the Seattle Seahawks come in. They get the Denver Broncos pick after the Russell Wilson trade. At number 10, it's the New York Jets from that Jamal Adams trade. So a lot of trades moving things around early on. Now we're on to number 11, the Washington Commanders. They stayed put despite all the chaos surrounding them. The Minnesota Vikings are at number 12, as the Vikings are going to look to try and compete in the NFC North because Aaron Rodgers is staying put, but no Davante Adams, so maybe they go a different direction. How about this change? Houston Texans with 2 first-round picks now. Following the Deshaun Watson trade, they take over the Browns pick at number 13. Ravens still at number 14. I heard they were looking at Tyler Linderbaum. No more Bozeman there. That could happen. Number 15 for the NFL draft, the Eagles, one of 3 first-round picks they have coming from the Miami Dolphins in that big trade last year that had a lot of moving pieces, ultimately resulting in trade Lance, as the Eagles have back-to-back first picks, but Lance going to the 49ers from Miami, and Eagles get this pick from the Colts after the Wentz trade. Chargers at 17. They need to get some firepower to keep up with the AFC West. The New Orleans Saints come in at number 18. I guess it's Winston, but there were some QB talks there. Eagles finally get their own pick now, 19 after sneaking in the playoffs. Steelers at 20. Been some Malik Willis talk there, but they did sign Trubisky, so we'll have to wait and see. New England at number 21 with one of the best drafting GMs in NFL history, Bill Belichick. Here at Chat Sports, Big Jack here, a big fan of what Bill has done in the NFL draft. Number 22, the Las Vegas Raiders, who have getting that pick from the Green Bay has the pick from the Las Vegas Raiders for the Davante Adams trade. So Green Bay at number 22. Number 23 is the Arizona Cardinals. 24 is Tom Downey's Dallas Cowboys. Tom, quick thought?
I think offensive line's a good area to keep an eye out for them here. I don't think that's going to be a defensive-heavy draft this year for the Cowboys.
Yep. Number 25 is the Buffalo Bills. They're just trying to keep up with everyone else in the AFC right now. 26 is the Titans, who are an interesting spot. 1 seed last year in the AFC, but dramatically underperformed in the postseason. The Bucs clock in at number 27 now. Tampa Bay looking to make one more Super Bowl run with the fountain of youth Tom Brady. 28 is the Green Bay Packers. They have their own pick, and let's assume they try to replace Davante Adams with either the Raiders pick they got at 22 or their own pick at 28. 29, the Kansas City Chiefs have the Miami Dolphins pick following that Tyreek Hill trade. And then the Chiefs pick back-to-back. So it'll be a busy day for Harrison Graham with those back-to-back picks at like the Eagles, 29 and 30. 31 is the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to assume they'll think we can never have too much help at the offensive line, despite signing La'el Collins. More the merrier at number 31 and at the offensive line spot. And finally, the Detroit Lions rounding it out with the final pick of the draft from the Rams following the trade with Matthew Stafford sending him to the coast from the Motor City. So that is the new updated NFL draft order. Handful of trades have happened. People have reshuffled. People have moved up and down in the line. Handful of teams falling out of the first round, like the Miami Dolphins, like the Cleveland Browns. And now we've got some teams bolstering themselves and getting some extra draft capital in the first round.
All right, what I want you guys to do right now is shout out your favorite team in the comment section here. Matthew, big ups to you for sticking around here. I know you had a lot of stuff going on. Appreciate it. We'll let you get back to Broncos and Browns and whatever else chaos ends up happening here in the near future, I'm sure. So shout out your favorite team in the comment section, and I'm going to run you guys through the draft order again one more time, bit more in depth on each of those here. So shout out your team and name a player you want them to draft. I'll give some shout outs for those here as well. I see a lot of teams in there, but you got to mention a player too. It's 2 asks here in the end. Also, Taylor Holland's giving you some props, PD, by the way, in a super chat. Yeah, there you go. So we'll hit your super chat here in a minute, Taylor. Stick around for that. See a lot of Cowboys, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. There's even Boomer Raider in the chat, my new favorite. Insert adjective now, whatever it is, Raider. Steelers wants Adams, cool. I see Drake London for the Jets for JC. Stingley for Shannon. Want them to draft. So Raiders, Davante Adams, that works. That was a draft pick in the end. So that's no complaints there. I see Lions, Nakobe Dean at 32. I would absolutely like to see that end up being the case there. Chiefs, Colts, Bo Melton. Okay, I don't mind that idea. I don't mind that at all. That makes sense to me. Let's see. I got Lions with Jared Goff. They already traded for him though. It's weird. Ravens got Sauce. Shifty Blocks was know what the Chiefs got of the Tyreek Hill. We'll hit that real quick here, I think, too, before we start this draft stuff. Dwayne H. is the Dolphins need a punter. I guess that's richness there. Steelers, Sauce Gardner. Broncos, Daxton Hill. I don't think they're going to get all that in the end there. First up, the super chat from Taylor Holland. Hashtag NFL Matt, you're doing an awesome job of Broncos breakdown. And then you got the hook 'em up emoji there. So I know that PD appreciates that, Taylor. Broncos trade up in round 2 for Abraham Lucas. I don't know if you have to trade up for him, but I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that fills the need and would be a good fit. So I think second round is about right for Lucas. I'm on board with that, Taylor. To answer your question, Shifty Blocks Z, the Tyreek Hill trade is as follows. Chiefs get a first-round pick, number 29 overall. A second-round pick this year, 2 fourths, 1 this year, 1 next year, and a 6th-round pick as well. So a pretty big haul going back to the Kansas City Chiefs for Tyreek Hill. Hill also gets a massive new contract from the Miami Dolphins. $30 million is the number out there. We'll see if it's really 30 or a bit deceptive on the 30 side. But who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins and KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments who you think won this particular trade. 72% of the live poll voting in favor of the Miami Dolphins. So get those votes in for me in the comment section right now. Who you think won the Dolphins-Chiefs massive Tyreek Hill blockbuster trade? NFL Daily is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all the best Manscaped products. They're the #1 men's grooming tools on the market when you use promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at manscaped.com/chat. What we're going to do right now, reveal style, is break down the 2022 NFL draft order in light of what went down. #1 pick, the Jacksonville Jags. That, of course, has not changed in any capacity. #2, the Detroit Lions. They've got the 2nd pick. They won Hutchinson. Not sure he's going to be there. The Houston Texans at #3. The New York Jets at #4. That's all stayed the same. No chaos there on that front there. The Giants have 2 picks in the top 7 at #5. The Panthers at #6. The Giants then again, of course, at #7. The Falcons at #8. And that was all. We knew that going in after the season ended. And then the chaos really began. The Seahawks, part of the Russell Wilson trade. They've got number 9, one pick better than their original first-round pick, which goes to the Jets as part of the older Jamal Adams trade. The Commanders picking at number 11. The Minnesota Vikings then at number 12. The Deshaun Watson trade led to the Houston Texans getting 2 top 15 picks at number 13 overall. The Baltimore Ravens at number 14, and then this is the Eagles portion of this year's NFL draft, unless they start making trades. They got 15 from Miami. They've got 16 as part of the Carson Wentz disaster trade for Indianapolis. The Chargers then have number 17. The Saints at number 18 overall. Then the Eagles have their own first-round pick at 19 as we're in here with the first round, or the playoff teams, I should say. The Steelers at number 20. And then we get even more chaos. After the Patriots pick at number 21, this is prime wide receiver range here. Green Bay, 22 overall, as part of the Davante Adams trade. Arizona, sitting at number 23 overall. And the Dallas Cowboys picking with the 24th overall selection. The Buffalo Bills at number 25. The Titans at number 26. The Buccaneers at 27. Green Bay again on the clock here. Their original first-round pick at 28. The Chiefs at number 29. This one is part of the Tyreek Hill Miami trade. And then 30 as well for KC. So back-to-back firsts for now for the Chiefs. The Bengals at 31. And another first-round trade. It's older. We knew about it. But still, there's been so many first-round picks dealt. The Lions then wrap up number 32 with the LA Rams pick originally. So what I want you guys to do right now is shout out your favorite team in the comments section. And while you're putting in that comment, I want you guys to name a player who you want them to draft. I'm going to make this the pinned comment to give you guys time to do both of those asks. So if the ad break plays on YouTube, head down there. Let me know a player you guys want to draft and which team you want it to be for. Let's spend a little bit more time now on each of these organizations. Jacksonville, number 1. I fully expect them to go take Aiden Hutchinson. That is my expectation. Maybe they go offensive line, but they've got O-line. So I think Hutchinson. And well, by the way, we'll do a new mock draft soon. I promise you. Lions at 2. We mentioned them, of course. We mentioned all these teams. I don't know where they go. Some buzz on Malik Willis. I would just take an edge rusher, Kayvon Thibodeau, even Trayvon Walker. Kyle Hamilton. I don't see O-line there. The Texans kept Laramie Tunsil. I am curious what they do with Titus Howard. So maybe offensive line, but maybe edge rusher or safety. Place Justin Reed makes the most sense for Houston, with Kyle Hamilton being my favorite pick this year. My prospect, I should say, this year. The Jets got 2, so we'll spend more time on number 4 here. Edge could still make sense. Sign DJ Reed. Maybe you don't go corner. If they really don't believe or have concerns about Mekhi Becton, I think offensive line is also in play. But I've seen some Drake London picks at 4. They wanted Tyreek Hill, so clearly the Jets still want a receiver. So I would bet a top 10 pick could be spent on that position for them. Who do you think will be the number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comment section. I think it's Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Drop a name for me in the comments right now. Giants at 5, so we'll focus our attention on their pick here since it'll be kind of similar. Edge is in play. Kayvon Thibodeau. I think they would love to get either Evan Neal or Ika Mekwonu at number 5. Corner, also a potential area of interest, maybe Sauce Gardner at 7. Carolina's going one of 2 routes. Quarterback or offensive tackle. Maybe they get one of those guys in the trade market or in free agency, but that's their area of focus right now. Giants, again, have 7. Ideal world is like a tackle and then Thibodeau or a corner. That would be a dream for the Giants. The Falcons, meanwhile, name a position. They need help everywhere but tight end. And I think corner now with Casey Hayward in the fold. Could go receiver. Could go edge. Could go tackle maybe. Could go quarterback. The Falcons, I think a lot of teams love to trade down. They need all of the help. I would not go QB if I were Atlanta because you're going to be bad this year, I think. Like we mentioned, today's show is powered by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/chat. That's CHAT. Make sure you're using promo code chat if it isn't automatically applied at checkout. Check the comment section and the description. I'll put that link in there for you guys. It's manscaped.com/chat. You can get the Ultra Premium Collection, the best bonus men's grooming products out there you'll ever find. Body spray, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, lip balm, deodorant, you name it, they've got it at manscaped.com/chat. Seattle, number 9, back in the top 10. Edge, offensive tackle. I think Charles Cross could be in play. Or maybe they fall in love with Malik Willis. That could be a prime pick for them here at number 9. Jets on the board at 10. I'd keep an eye out for receiver. Maybe an edge or corner slides down to them and they fall in love with that particular pick. So keep an eye on that for the top 10 there. Number 11, the Washington Commanders here. Ron Rivera went to the Ohio State Pro Day. Wonder if they go receiver at number 11 since I guess Carson Wentz is their guy moving forward. Minnesota, corner, you can cross edge off that need list. So I think corner makes a lot of sense for them as an organization. There will be a good one there. It's going to be what I typically tend to mock. The Texans now at 13. I haven't done a single mock draft with the Texans picking 13 yet. So this is the first time I'm even thinking about it really in depth. Offensive line could be in play. Receiver's a dark horse need, I think, for them right now. Corner is an option if Trent McDuffie or Derek Stingley slides down to them. I doubt Hamilton is on the board this far. He's not getting past the Commanders at 11, I don't think. The Ravens at 14, are they going to go offensive line or defensive line? That'd be my guess as we sit right now. The Eagles have 3 first-round picks, 15 and 16, plus 19 coming up here in a minute. Receiver, maybe edge, so even after adding Hassan Reddick, I would love linebacker. Corner would be a great fit. Maybe you trade a pick, by the way, to have some extra draft capital next year. For nonstop NFL coverage all offseason long, hit that big red button and subscribe for more free NFL videos. Join us right here every single day. I think tackle would be the dream pick here for the Chargers, but does Trevor Penning fall this far? I don't think so. This would be his floor. I wouldn't be mad at Jordan Davis either if you want to really stop that run altogether. The Saints at 18. I think QB's still in play. I know they signed Jameis Winston. 2-year deal. They need a franchise guy. That's not Winston. Receiver, maybe defensive tackle, also in play. Philadelphia with their own pick here at number 19. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if they dealt one of them. But Pittsburgh at 20 is ultra intriguing to me because could they move up for a QB? Could they fall in love with Malik Willis? It's possible as far as I'm concerned. So Pittsburgh, if they don't go QB, maybe they go BPA, and I wouldn't rule out even more help on the offensive line. All right, the over-under being set here at the Chat Sports office. 4.5 QBs drafted in round 1. I am hammering the under. I might take the under on 3.5. In fact, I think I would. But what do you guys think? QBs always go earlier than what they should. So type O for over, U for under. 21, the Patriots. Producer Jack, you okay with a corner now, or do they have to go receiver? Yeah, you're okay with corner. I tried to tell him. He didn't want to listen. They got needs aplenty this offseason. Speaking of receiver, Green Bay at 22 has needs on the offensive line. Maybe not so much linebacker with the re-signing of Devondre Campbell, but also receiver in a massive, massive way. And they don't want to run the risk of some of their guys going off the board here back end of round 1. Arizona, 23. I'm going to guess offense, maybe O-line, maybe defensive line could be in play, though, as well. The Cowboys, I'm betting one of 3 names here. Tyler Linderbaum, which would be a home run pick. Kenyon Green, but Linderbaum could go 14, to the Ravens. Or Zion Johnson. I bet he goes, I think all 3 of those guys are off the board around this particular range. The Bills at 25. I love what they've been doing. I'm looking at cornerback as an area of focus for that organization here at number 25. Tennessee, 26. Took care of tight end short term. Offensive guard and receiver make a lot of sense there. The Bucs at 27. Again, kind of offensive guard could be in play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think receiver, but maybe you want to replace Ndamukong Suh. Defensive line could be a good fit for Tampa. Green Bay, again, we mentioned their needs here, so I wouldn't be shocked if they pursued a receiver at 28 and 22, especially if you lose Marquez Valdez-Scantling. NFL Daily is also available on Rumble. That's another video platform where I can drop F-bombs and not be yelled at. So if you haven't already, follow us on Rumble at rumble.com/NFL Daily. We got free videos going up there, and you can drop the F-bomb a little bit more frequently. The Chiefs back-to-back picks here, 29 and 30. The defense needs help. Edge, maybe interior defensive line if you don't just only want to have Chris Jones as your big-time player, but probably more edge. Receiver, could go corner as well. So the Chiefs now have 2 first-round picks. One of them has to be spent, I think, on a wideout. The Bengals at 31. Defensive tackle, maybe corner, and you could still put more picks on the offensive line as well. And wrapping it up, the Detroit Lions. My dream pick for them, I don't know if he'll be there, but Nakobe Dean would be a flawless selection for the Detroit Lions at number 32. The NFL Draft, folks, will be live on Chat Sports. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. Unlike the failing ESPN and other major networks, when it comes to day 3, we'll be here actually breaking down each and every single pick. So before we go for the day, one last question for you guys. Who will be the number 1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? I think it's Aiden Hutchinson. Let me sip my beer while the votes come in here. Hutchinson from MT. I think that's going to be the pick. I know, for reference, Hutchinson was only going to work out with the Jacksonville Jags. Then the Ajabo injury changed that plan. He's not going to work out, period. But when you're only working out with the number 1 pick, with a team with the number 1 pick, you know where you're going. So lots of Hutchinsons in there from Zach and Christian and Devin as well. I think that's the pick. MT says, give me Jameson Williams. That's not number 1 overall pick, but I love Jameson. That dude's got speed for days. I'd be all aboard that particular move. Someone said Das Boot. Well, there's been no $100 super chat, Anthony, so I'm not going to do the boot today. Plus, I make someone else do it. King God Beat says Evan Neal from Alabama. I think that's kind of the play there. The Tyreek Hill trade, by the way. Dolphins get Tyreek Hill. Chiefs getting a first, a second, 2 fourths, and a 6th. That was the trade. It was a massive trade here for the Miami Dolphins, as that was a big-time move for the Dolphins. They acquired Teron Armstead last night. This afternoon, morning here, I think they get a huge addition in Tyreek Hill. So the Dolphins, big-time winners from that perspective. But that was a fantastic move by the Miami Dolphins, and the Chiefs now have a big-time needed receiver. So the pin poll on today's show. Who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins, KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments section. I'll give some shout-outs here as well. So just make a call. Like KC from MT, Be More Birdgain from KC, Akiva says Miami, and Mr. Death says Miami, KC from MT. So MT's going with Chiefs. Interesting. Miami from Mr. Death, Miami from Nick McLean, Felicia says Miami, Akiva says Miami, Devin says Miami, Joe says Miami, KC from MT and Ryan Kennedy, KC from JW23. So a lot of KCs in there. Interesting. The live poll, of course, still heavily favoring the Miami Dolphins, which I think is the right answer. They got the better player there in the end. All right, we still got a lot of people watching, so we're going to do one more Q&A here. So there are 2 ways to get on the show. Number 1, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat. So Taylor, we hit your Super Chat earlier. If we have more Super Chats come in, with those as well. But if you have questions on anything revolving around the NFL, use hashtag NFL to get your questions in the chat, so producer Jeff, superstar producer Jeff, can find your questions and bring them up on screen. It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. Remember, if you want free daily videos multiple times every single day, plus live shows twice a week, and when breaking news happens, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. From 508 Cole, 508, do you think the Dolphins will sign J.C. Tretter? I would love that move for Miami. I have no idea if they want to add another key piece on the offensive line. He's a veteran. I would be all for it. I don't know what Tretter's market looks like at this exact moment, but I think it'd be a good idea for Miami. I'd feel really good about that team as long as the QB steps up. From the Holy Taco 7, will Malik Willis fall to the Seahawks, and will they take him? I think there's a real chance Willis is on the board. Like, if he doesn't go 2, I don't think Giants do, I don't think Jets do, I don't think Falcons do, maybe the Falcons do. He could be there. Where the QBs go is going to be the ultimate question this year. Because in last year's draft class, no one's trying to take Malik Willis top 10. He ain't going before Fields. He's probably not going before Mac Jones either. It's just not who he is as a prospect. He needs time. He was bad down the stretch. We all ignore that because of the pro day hype and the deep balls he can throw at the combine. I get all of that, but we're hyping up a QB to have an early round QB. Second round grade for me, and that I thought was higher than most teams are going to grade him out at. So if you love him, okay, sure, but you're making a risk there of he might not play year one. And if you're bad, well, now you're drafting earlier with better presumed prospects looking ahead to the draft in your next year early on. From Declan Chalmers, Finns now have the best wide receiver duo and cornerback duo in the league. Fins up, baby. Is it the best receiver duo? Could be the best receiver duo. It's the most explosive wide receiver duo. Not sure I'd take it over. I love Waddle. He's awesome. I love Tyreek Hill. Don't get me wrong there. Those two are dynamic football players. But is it better than, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson? Maybe. Could be if the QB plays well. That's going to be a big thing for them to figure out this upcoming year. But that receiver duo, it is dynamic. And from an explosive standpoint, there's nobody better. From an Alpaca, I don't know why I said it so weird there. How would you rank the AFC West teams post Tyreek Hill trade? That's whatever order you put them in is both wrong and right at the same time. Think I'd go Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. Do you just rank them in QB? Do you put Chiefs at 4 now? They got Mahomes still. I think your ordering is absolute chaos. So, what do you guys think? Who is your AFC West favorite? Who is the one team that you think is the best one right now in the AFC West? KC for the Chiefs, LAC for the Chargers, DEN for the Denver Broncos, and LV for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to make this one the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From Felicia Ballard, what's the news on the Honey Badger? Very quiet so far. There's been nothing going on here in terms of the Honey Badger's market. It's been surprisingly quiet. There's been some fake reports out there. He'll sign at some point soon, I think. From Junior Estrada, should the Patriots bring back Brandon Cooks? Reunion. I don't hate it. Could you get him for a day 2 pick? Move on from him, take a corner in round 1? I don't think that's a bad idea necessarily from that perspective for the Patriots. So I would be open to it in the end. From Joka, where will Baker Mayfield land? It's not Carolina. I'm going to guess Jimmy G for Carolina. Maybe Baker goes to the Seahawks? If it's not Seattle, I don't know who's trading for him. Do you just hold him and hope for a Sam Bradford situation? Maybe. That could be a decent path, I guess. So what do you think? Where will Baker play in 2022? think it's back in Cleveland. But make your predictions for me in the comments section right now. Where do you think Baker ends up next season? When Baker news happens, when trades happen, we break it down for you guys here. Non-stop coverage on the NFL all off-season long. So if you haven't already, subscribe. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Hit that big red button and join us for more daily videos. From Batman, which Jack loved the movie. I still have not seen it yet. No spoilers in the comments section. What does Miami draft now? They have a late third-round pick. So, best player available. They're going to draft something that's not that impactful. At least most likely not impactful. So, BPA for Miami, but with light draft capital, they are not a draft team anymore, at least for this year. 508 Cole, 508. Which division is the worst now in the NFL? Had Brady not gone back to the Buccaneers, I definitely would have said the NFC South. Still might be the NFC South. I think it's the NFC South, NFC East, neck and neck with each other, and then probably the NFC North. And then the West is good. The West is good. The AFC's loaded across the board. From Nicholas, what will the Saints draft in the first round? Wide receiver, left tackle, QB, safety. I don't know if a tackle's there for you. Want to reach on Bernard Raymond? Maybe. I wouldn't mind QB. Safety is a good dark horse pick for them, by the way, in round one. It's a good inclusion there. I'd throw in defensive tackle. I'd say receiver is probably your most likely fit there in the end. All right, who do you think will be the number one overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, but I want to hear from you. Drop a name for me, a prediction, in the comments section right now. Anthony Parks, do you think Seattle is going to pick up Kaepernick? I don't think so. I would be pretty damn shocked if they added him. He's a 35-year-old QB who hasn't played since 2016. In a bubble, you're not signing that guy no matter who it is. Maybe if Brady pulled that, you would do it. But a guy who was a backup caliber guy the last time we saw him, why? It doesn't make football sense. Kaepernick got screwed by the NFL, but I think that race has been run. From Jordan, should we expect more big departures with Mahomes' big contract? That's why I was so surprised by this. Mahomes' contract is cheap right now. You're actually not paying him that much on your salary cap. And you were going to pay Patrick Mahomes, or Tyreek Hill, $21+ million. And then 30 was too much for you. So there's a $9 million difference there. You threw money at Justin Reed, and you didn't throw money at Tyreek Hill. It's weird for me. Like, the Chiefs have spent big. You can still pay Orlando Brown. So if the Chiefs want to stop spending, then yes. But that Mahomes deal, it's not even the highest in the NFL anymore. It is a bargain for KC. For Mad Miles, who the Chiefs target? Trade for DK or sign Julio? I'm going to say draft. DK I doubt is available. If Seattle shops him, KC and Philly make all the sense in the world. Julio's a big name. He was bad last year. So maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling is a better fit for KC, and you should probably spend the new first-round pick on somebody. From Brokov, should Miami go after Tyler Lockett? He's not available. Lockett's contract is not that tradable, so it doesn't really make a ton of sense for Seattle to ship him. And Miami doesn't need a wide receiver. They've got Devontae Parker for now, and two great ones, at least two potentially great ones. If you're not always sold on Waddle, you should be soon. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, you sign Cedric Wilson. You don't need Tyler Lockett at all if you are the Miami Dolphins. All right, who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs? This is the pin poll on today's video, still at 72% for the Miami Dolphins. 28% for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments section who you think won the trade. And I'll give some shout-outs here. Lots of Miamis. Ian M's putting in the dolphin emoji. I heard Will Scott's got a great Dolphin call here at Chat Sports. Raiders, Chargers, and Denver. Okay, that's fair too. I mean, teams are so scared of Tyreek Hill because that you got to cover him at all times. He's so dynamic. If the Dolphins put Tyreek Hill in the Deebo Samuel role, God, that's so much fun. That's so much fun for them as an organization. A lot of Miami in there. Raiders, Chase Higgins, Burrow go to the Miami. I mean, better QB, no doubt about it. Receiving core, maybe Hill, Chase, Waddle, Higgins. God, there's so many. All the talent is in the AFC. All the talent. If you're in the NFC, you should be ultra aggressive, and nobody is. It's super confusing and weird. Maybe they're just not desperate enough. Maybe that's their issue, because desperation is a big deal there. Get some more votes in here. MIA for the Dolphins, KC for the Chiefs. All right. F. says KC. We got 5 picks. You got a lot, although 2 of them are premium picks. MIA from Sean Davis. MIA from Devin. MIA from Cole Mitchell. Miami from Charles Shaw. I see Sean Davis as well. Junior Estrada says Miami as well. Troy Daniels, Miami. Welcome in, Troy. Chase says it's like 90% in the chat, Miami. The votes, though, 72% to the Miami Dolphins. So keep those votes coming. Who won the trade, Miami or KC? NFL Daily is live Monday and Wednesday. Normally, it's like 5 p.m. Central Time. Well, we went super live early today because, Tyreek Hill got traded. So if you haven't already, subscribe so you just don't miss out on anything around the NFL. And coming up in a minute, we're going to put this video on loop. We'll recap the draft. We'll hit the Tyreek Hill trade and that other Q&A. All on loop right now. NFL Daily is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all the best Manscaped products. They're the #1 men's grooming tools on the market when you use promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at manscaped.com/chat. What we're going to do right now, reveal style, is break down the 2022 NFL draft order in light of what went down. #1 pick, the Jacksonville Jags. That, of course, has not changed in any capacity. #2, the Detroit Lions. They've got the 2nd pick. They won Hutchinson. Not sure he's going to be there. The Houston Texans at #3. The New York Jets at #4. That's all stayed the same. No chaos there on that front there. The Giants have 2 picks in the top 7 at #5. The Panthers at #6. The Giants then again, of course, at #7. The Falcons at #8. And that was all. We knew that going in after the season ended. And then the chaos really began. The Seahawks, part of the Russell Wilson trade. They've got #9, 1 pick better than their original first-round pick, which goes to the Jets as part of the older Jamal Adams trade. The Commanders picking at #11. The Minnesota Vikings then at #12. The Deshaun Watson trade led to the Houston Texans getting 2 top 15 picks at #13 overall. The Baltimore Ravens at #14. And then this is the Eagles portion of this year's NFL draft, unless they start making trades. They got 15 from Miami. They've got 16 as part of the Carson Wentz disaster trade for Indianapolis. The Chargers then have #17. The Saints at #18 overall. Then the Eagles have their own first-round pick at 19, as we're in here with the first round, or the playoff teams, I should say. The Steelers at #20. And then we get even more chaos after the Patriots pick at #21. This is prime wide receiver range here. Green Bay, 22 overall, as part of the Davante Adams trade. Arizona sitting at #23 overall, and the Dallas Cowboys picking with the 24th overall selection. The Buffalo Bills at #25, the Titans at #26, the Buccaneers at 27, Green Bay again on the clock here, their original first-round pick at 28, the Chiefs at number 29. This one is part of the Tyreek Hill Miami trade. And then 30 as well for KC. So back-to-back firsts for now for the Chiefs. The Bengals at 31 and another first-round trade. It's older. We knew about it. But still, there's been so many first-round picks dealt. The Lions then wrap up number 32 with the LA Rams pick originally. So what I want you guys to do right now is shout out your favorite team in the comments section. And while you're putting in that comment, I want you guys to name a player who you want them to draft. I'm going to make this the pinned comment to give you guys time to do both of those asks. So if the ad break plays on YouTube, head down there. Let me know a player you guys want to draft and which team you want it to be for. Let's spend a little bit more time now on each of these organizations. Jacksonville, number 1. I fully expect them to go take Aiden Hutchinson. That is my expectation. Maybe they go offensive line, but they've got O-line. So I think Hutchinson. And by the way, we'll do a new mock draft soon, I promise you. Lions, 2. We mentioned them, of course. We mentioned all these teams. I don't know where they go. Some buzz on Malik Willis. I would just take an edge rusher, Kayvon Thibodeau, even Trayvon Walker. Kyle Hamilton. I don't see O-line there. The Texans kept Laramie Tunsil. I am curious what they do with Titus Howard. So maybe offensive line, but maybe edge rusher or safety. Place Justin Reed makes the most sense for Houston, with Kyle Hamilton being my favorite pick this year, my prospect, I should say, this year. The Jets got 2, so we'll spend more time on number 4 here. Edge could still make sense. Sign DJ Reed. Maybe you don't go corner. If they really don't believe or have concerns about Mekhi Becton, I think offensive line is also in play. But I've seen some Drake London picks at 4. They wanted Tyreek Hill, so clearly the Jets still want a receiver. So I would bet a top 10 pick could be spent on that position for them. Who do you think will be the number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comment section. I think it's Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Drop a name for me in the comments right now. Giants at 5, so we'll focus our attention on their pick here since it'll be kind of similar. Edge is in play. Kayvon Thibodeau. I think they would love to get either Evan Neal or Ika Mekwonu at number 5. Corner, also a potential area of interest, maybe Sauce Gardner at 7. Carolina's going one of 2 routes. Quarterback or offensive tackle. Maybe they get one of those guys in the trade market or in free agency, but that's their area of focus right now. Giants, again, have 7. Ideal world is like a tackle and then Thibodeau or a corner. That would be a dream for the Giants. The Falcons, meanwhile, name a position. They need help everywhere but tight end, and I think corner now with Casey Hayward in the fold. Could go receiver. Could go edge. Could go tackle maybe. Could go quarterback. The Falcons, I think a lot of teams love to trade down. They need all of the help. I would not go QB if I were Atlanta because you're going to be bad this year, I think. Like we mentioned, today's show is powered by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/chat. That's CHAT. Make sure you're using promo code chat if it isn't automatically applied at checkout. Check the comment section and the description. I'll put that link in there for you guys. It's manscaped.com/chat. You can get the Ultra Premium Collection, the best bonus men's grooming products out there you'll ever find. Body spray, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, lip balm, deodorant, you name it, they've got it at manscaped.com/chat. Seattle, number 9, back in the top 10. Edge, offensive tackle. I think Charles Cross could be in play. Or maybe they fall in love with Malik Willis. That could be a prime pick for them here at number 9. Jets on the board at 10. I'd keep an eye out for receiver. Maybe an edge or corner slides down to them and they fall in love with that particular pick. So keep an eye on that for the top 10 there. Number 11, the Washington Commanders here. Ron Rivera went to the Ohio State Pro Day. Wonder if they go receiver at number 11 since I guess Carson Wentz is their guy moving forward. Minnesota, corner. You can cross edge off that need list. So I think corner makes a lot of sense for them as an organization. There will be a good one there. It's going to be what I typically tend to mock. The Texans now at 13. I haven't done a single mock draft with the Texans picking 13 yet. So this is the first time I'm even thinking about it really in depth. Offensive line could be in play. Receiver's a dark horse need, I think, for them right now. Corner is an option if Trent McDuffie or Derek Stingley slides down to them. I doubt Hamilton is on the board this far. He's not getting past the Commanders at 11, I don't think. The Ravens at 14, are they going to go offensive line or defensive line? That'd be my guess as we sit right now. The Eagles have 3 first-round picks, 15 and 16, plus 19 coming up here in a minute. Receiver, maybe edge, so even after adding Hassan Reddick, I would love linebacker. Corner would be a great fit. Maybe you trade a pick, by the way, to have some extra draft capital next year. For nonstop NFL coverage all offseason long, hit that big red button and subscribe for more free NFL videos. Join us right here every single day. I think tackle would be the dream pick here for the Chargers, but does Trevor Penning fall this far? I don't think so. This would be his floor. I wouldn't be mad at Jordan Davis either if you want to really stop that run altogether. The Saints at 18, I think QB's still in play. I know they signed Jameis Winston, 2-year deal. They need a franchise guy. That's not Winston. Receiver, maybe defensive tackle, also in play. Philadelphia with their own pick here at number 19. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if they dealt one of them. But Pittsburgh at 20 is ultra intriguing to me because could they move up for a QB? Could they fall in love with Malik Willis? It's possible as far as I'm concerned. So Pittsburgh, if they don't go QB, maybe they go BPA, and I wouldn't rule out even more help on the offensive line. All right, the over-under being set here at the Chat Sports office, 4.5 QBs drafted in round 1. I am hammering the under. I might take the under on 3.5. In fact, I think I would. But what do you guys think? QBs always go earlier than what they should. So type O for over, U for under. 21, the Patriots. Producer Jack, you okay with a corner now, or do they have to go receiver? Yeah, you're okay with corner. I tried to tell him. He didn't want to listen. They got needs aplenty this offseason. Speaking of receiver, Green Bay at 22 has needs on the offensive line. Maybe not so much linebacker with the re-signing of Devondre Campbell, but also receiver in a massive, massive way. And they don't want to run the risk of some of their guys going off the board here back end of round 1. Arizona, 23. I'm going to guess offense, maybe O-line, maybe defensive line could be in play, though, as well. The Cowboys, I'm betting one of 3 names here. Tyler Linderbaum, which would be a home run pick. Kenyon Green, but Linderbaum could go 14, to the Ravens. Or Zion Johnson. I bet he goes, I think all 3 of those guys are off the board around this particular range. The Bills at 25. I love what they've been doing. I'm looking at cornerback as an area of focus for that organization here at number 25. Tennessee, 26. Took care of tight end short term. Offensive guard and receiver make a lot of sense there. The Bucs at 27. Again, kind of offensive guard could be in play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think receiver, but maybe you want to replace Ndamukong Suh. Defensive line could be a good fit for Tampa. Green Bay, again, we mentioned their needs here, so I wouldn't be shocked if they pursued a receiver at 28 and 22, especially if you lose Marquez Valdez-Scantling. NFL Daily is also available on Rumble. That's another video platform where I can drop F-bombs and not be yelled at. So if you haven't already, follow us on Rumble at rumble.com/NFL Daily. We got free videos going up there, and we can drop the F-bomb a little bit more frequently. The Chiefs back-to-back picks here, 29 and 30. The defense needs help. Edge, maybe interior defensive line if you don't just only want to have Chris Jones as your big-time player, but probably more edge. Receiver, could go corner as well. So the Chiefs now have 2 first-round picks. One of them has to be spent, I think, on a wideout. The Bengals at 31. Defensive tackle, maybe corner, and you could still put more picks on the offensive line as well. And wrapping it up, the Detroit Lions. My dream pick for them, I don't know if he'll be there, but Nakobe Dean would be a flawless selection for the Detroit Lions at number 32. The NFL Draft, folks, will be live on Chat Sports. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. Unlike the failing ESPN and other major networks, when it comes to day 3, we'll be here actually breaking down each and every single pick. So before we go for the day, one last question for you guys. Who will be the number 1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? I think it's Aiden Hutchinson. Let me sip my beer while the votes come in here. Hutchinson from MT. I think that's going to be the pick. I know, for reference, Hutchinson was only going to work out with the Jacksonville Jags. Then the Ajabo injury changed that plan. He's not going to work out, period. But when you're only working out with the number 1 pick, with the team with the number 1 pick, you know where you're going. So lots of Hutchinsons in there from Zach and Christian and Devin as well. I think that's the pick. MT says, give me Jamison Williams. That's not number 1 overall pick, but I love Jamison. That dude's got speed for days. I'd be all aboard that particular move. Someone said Das boot. Well, there's been no $100 super chat, Anthony, so I'm not going to do the boot today. Plus, I'd make someone else do it. King God Beat says Evan Neal from Alabama. I think that's kind of the play there. The Tyreek Hill trade, by the way. Dolphins get Tyreek Hill. Chiefs getting a first, a second, 2 fourths, and a sixth. That was the trade. It was a massive trade here for the Miami Dolphins, as that was a big-time move for the Dolphins. They acquired Teron Armstead last night. This morning here, I think they get a huge addition in Tyreek Hill. So the Dolphins, big-time winners from that perspective. But that was a fantastic move by the Miami Dolphins, and the Chiefs now have a big-time needed receiver. So the pin poll on today's show: who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins, KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments section. I'll give some shout-outs here as well. So just make a call. Like KC from MT, Be More Birdgain from KC, Akiva says Miami, and Mr. Death says Miami. KC from MT. So MT's going Chiefs. Interesting. Miami from Mr. Death. Miami from Nick McLean. Felicia says Miami. Akiva says Miami. Devin says Miami. Joe says Miami. KC from MT and Ryan Kennedy. KC from JW23. So a lot of KCs in there. Interesting. The live poll, of course, still heavily favoring the Miami Dolphins, which I think is the right answer. They got the better player there in the end. All right, we still got a lot of people watching, so we're going to do one more Q&A here. So there are 2 ways to get on the show. Number 1, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat. So Taylor, we hit your Super Chat earlier. If we have more Super Chats come in, with those as well. But if you have questions on anything revolving around the NFL, use hashtag NFL to get your questions in the chat, so producer Jeff, superstar producer Jeff, can find your questions and bring them up on screen. It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. Remember, if you want free daily videos multiple times every single day, plus live shows twice a week, and when breaking news happens, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. From 508 Cole, 508, do you think the Dolphins will sign J.C. Tretter? I would love that move for Miami. I have no idea if they want to add another key piece on the offensive line. He's a veteran. I would be all for it. I don't know what Tretter's market looks like at this exact moment, but I think it'd be a good idea for Miami. I'd feel really good about that team as long as the QB steps up. From the Holy Taco 7, will Malik Willis fall to the Seahawks, and will they take him? I think there's a real chance Willis is on the board. Like, if he doesn't go 2, I don't think Giants do, I don't think Jets do, I don't think Falcons do, maybe the Falcons do. He could be there. Where the QBs go is going to be the ultimate question this year. Because in last year's draft class, no one's trying to take Malik Willis top 10. He ain't going before Fields. He's probably not going before Mac Jones either. It's just none of these is a prospect. He needs time. He was bad down the stretch. We all ignore that because of the pro day hype and the deep balls he can throw at the combine. I get all of that, but we're hyping up a QB to have an early round QB. Second round grade for me, and that I thought was higher than most teams are going to grade him out at. So if you love him, okay, Sure, but you're making a risk there of he might not play year one. And if you're bad, well, now you're drafting earlier with better presumed prospects looking ahead to the draft in your next year early on. From Declan Chalmers, Finns now have the best wide receiver duo and cornerback duo in the league. Fins up, baby. Is it the best receiver duo? Could be the best receiver duo. It's the most explosive wide receiver duo. Not sure I'd take it over. I love Waddle. He's awesome. I love Tyreek Hill. Don't get me wrong there. Those two are dynamic football players. But is it better than, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson? Maybe. Could be if the QB plays well. That's going to be a big thing for them to figure out this upcoming year. But that receiver duo, it is dynamic. And from an explosive standpoint, there's nobody better. From an Alpaca, I don't know why I said it so weird there. How would you rank the AFC West teams post Tyreek Hill trade? That's whatever order you put them in is both wrong and right at the same time. Think I'd go Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. Do you just rank them in QB? Do you put Chiefs at 4 now? They got Mahomes still. I think your ordering is absolute chaos. So, what do you guys think? Who is your AFC West favorite? Who is the one team that you think is the best one right now in the AFC West? KC for the Chiefs, LAC for the Chargers, DEN for the Denver Broncos, and LV for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to make this one the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From Felicia Ballard, what's the news on the Honey Badger? Very quiet so far. There's been nothing going on here in terms of the Honey Badger's market. It's been surprisingly quiet. There's been some fake reports out there. He'll sign at some point soon, I think. From Junior Estrada, should the Patriots bring back Brandon Cooks? Reunion. I don't hate it. Could you get him for a day 2 pick? Move on from him, take a corner in round 1? I don't think that's a bad idea necessarily from that perspective for the Patriots. So I would be open to it in the end. From Joka, where will Baker Mayfield land? It's not Carolina. I'm going to guess Jimmy G for Carolina. Maybe Baker goes to the Seahawks? If it's not Seattle, I don't know who's trading for him. Do you just hold him and hope for a Sam Bradford situation? Maybe. That could be a decent path, I guess. So what do you think? Where will Baker play in 2022? I don't think it's back in Cleveland, but make your predictions for me in the comments section right now. Where do you think Baker ends up next season? When Baker news happens, when trades happen, we break it down for you guys here. Non-stop coverage on the NFL all off-season long. So if you haven't already, subscribe. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Hit that big red button and join us for more daily videos. From Batman, which Jack loved the movie. I still have not seen it yet. No spoilers in the comments section. What does Miami draft now? They have a late 3rd round pick. So, best player available. They're going to draft something that's not that impactful. At least most likely not impactful. So, BPA for Miami, but with light draft capital, they are not a draft team anymore, at least for this year. 508 Cole, 508. Which division is the worst now in the NFL? Had Brady not gone back to the Buccaneers, I definitely would have said the NFC South. Still might be the NFC South. I think it's the NFC South, NFC East, neck and neck with each other, and then probably the NFC North. And then the West is good. The West is good. The AFC's loaded across the board. From Nicholas, what will the Saints draft in the first round? Wide receiver, left tackle, QB, safety. I don't know if a tackle's there for you. Want to reach on Bernard Raymond? Maybe. I wouldn't mind QB. Safety is a good dark horse pick for them, by the way, in round 1. It's a good inclusion there. I'd throw in defensive tackle. I'd say receiver is probably your most likely fit there in the end. All right, who do you think will be the number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, but I want to hear from you. Drop a name for me, a prediction in the comment section right now. Anthony Parks, do you think Seattle is going to pick up Kaepernick? I don't think so. I would be pretty damn shocked if they added him. He's a 35-year-old QB who hasn't played since 2016. In a bubble, you're not signing that guy no matter who it is. Maybe if Brady pulled that, you would do it. But a guy who was a backup caliber guy the last time we saw him, why? It doesn't make football sense. Kaepernick got screwed by the NFL, but I think that race has been run. From Jordan, should we expect more big departures with Mahomes' big contract? That's why I was so surprised by this. Mahomes' contract is cheap right now. You're actually not paying him that much on your salary cap. And you were going to pay Patrick Mahomes, or excuse me, Tyreek Hill, $21+ million. And then 30 was too much for you. So there's a $9 million difference there. You threw money at Justin Reed, and you didn't throw money at Tyreek Hill. It's weird for me. Like, the Chiefs have spent big. You can still pay Orlando Brown. So if the Chiefs want to stop spending, then yes. But that Mahomes deal, it's not even the highest in the NFL anymore. It is a bargain for KC. From Mad Miles, who the Chiefs target? Trade for DK or sign Julio? I'm going to say draft. DK, I doubt, is available. If Seattle shops him, KC and Philly make all the sense in the world. Julio's a big name. He was bad last year. So maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling is a better fit for KC, and you should probably spend the new first-round pick on somebody. From Brokov, should Miami go after Tyler Lockett? He's not available. Lockett's contract is not that tradable, so it doesn't really make a ton of sense for Seattle to ship him. And Miami doesn't need a wide receiver. They've got Devontae Parker for now, and 2 great ones, at least 2 potentially great ones. If you're not all the way sold on Waddle, you should be soon. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, you sign Cedric Wilson. You don't need Tyler Lockett at all if you are the Miami Dolphins. All right, who won the trade? MIA for the Miami Dolphins or KC for the Kansas City Chiefs? This is the pin poll on today's video, still at 72% for the Miami Dolphins. 28% for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know in the comments section who you think won the trade. And I'll give some shout-outs here. Lots of Miamis. Ian M's putting in the dolphin emoji. I heard Will Scott's got a great dolphin call here at Chat Sports. Raiders, Chargers, and Denver. Okay, that's fair too. I mean, teams are so scared of Tyreek Hill because that you got to cover him at all times. He's so dynamic. If the Dolphins put Tyreek Hill in the Deebo Samuel role, God, that's so much fun. That's so much fun for them as an organization. A lot of Miami in there. Raiders, Chase Higgins, Burrow greater than Miami. I mean, better QB, no doubt about it. Receiving core, maybe Hill, Chase. Waddle, Higgins? God, there's so many. All the talent is in the AFC. All the talent. If you're in the NFC, you should be ultra aggressive, and nobody is. It's super confusing and weird. Maybe they're just not desperate enough. Maybe that's their issue, because desperation is a big deal there. Get some more votes in here. MIA for the Dolphins, KC for the Chiefs. All right. F. Judas says KC. We got 5 picks. You got a lot, although 2 of them are premium picks. MIA from Sean Davis. MIA from Devin. MIA from Cole Mitchell. Miami from Charles Shaw. I see Sean Davis as well. Junior Estrada says Miami as well. Troy Daniels, Miami. Welcome in, Troy. Chase says it's like 90% in the chat, Miami. The votes, though, 72% to the Miami Dolphins. So keep those votes coming. Who won the trade, Miami or KC? NFL Daily is live Monday and Wednesday. Normally, it's like 5 p.m. Central Time. Well, we went super live early today because, Tyreek Hill got traded. So if you haven't already, subscribe so you just don't miss out on anything around the NFL. And coming up in a minute, we're going to put this video on loop. We'll recap the draft. We'll hit the Tyreek Hill trade and that other Q&A. All on loop right now.